week on WFAN's Boomer and Carton program presented by Allstate.
And as far as you guys,
Right.
hope you have a good weekend.
Right.
It's always good to wake up and hear you guys.
And happy
Make my
Easter
day.
to you this weekend, Lou.
Yeah, usual.
What are you doing for Easter Sunday?
Well, I'm going to have dinner with my girl, and then we're going to
Oh, would I
see a
love
show.
to meet her.
You should get your girl to call in one day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'd love to have her.
I guess.
Well, how's it working out with her?
Pretty good.
Will this be the best Easter you've ever had this Sunday or no?
I like to eat. I say I try to make everyone better, you know. But I'm not really a family guy, you know.
I understand. And what are you doing next week for Thanksgiving?
I'm gonna have my brother, me and my brother.
You guys have turkey and stuff?
Yeah, we have the whole thing.
Yeah.
Turkey, cranberry sauce.
Crazy how it popped up so early on us this year, right?
Excuse me?
It's crazy how Thanksgiving came around so early this year.
Yeah. All of a sudden it's Easter, you know. I didn't realize last week was Palm Sunday, you know.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that, you know.
You sound like you got life on lockdown, kiddo.
Yeah, well, you look good, and like I said, I hope you both have a happy Easter, and same to your family.
And if we don't talk to you before Thursday, happy Thanksgiving.
Same to you. I'll
Okay.
talk to you soon.
Okay.
Take care, Boomer.
You're good, Lou.
See you, Lou. Bye.
Bye, kiddo. Bye-bye. There you
Such
go.
a nice guy.
Lou in Staten Island.
Wants to
Couldn't
help
be a
us
better
all
guy.
out. Yep.
That is the story of our history. Whether it's the pursuit of prosperity for our people or the struggle for equality for all our citizens, our commitment to stand up for our values abroad, and our sacrifices to make the world a safer place. Let us remember that we can do these things not just because of wealth or power, but because of who we are. One nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. May God bless you. And may God bless the United States of America.
And I want to say one more thing. In the spirit of the Irish people, Osama Bin Laden, you can kiss my royal Irish ass. And I live in Rockaway, and this is my face, bitch.
It's Boomer Esiason and Craig Carton on The Fan, Sports Radio 66, WFAN New York.
Here we go!
Golf tournament in Long Island. We have a very, very special program for you. This, of course, is Boomer and Carton. We go all the way to 10 o'clock. Number to hang, as always, 877-337-6666. Toll-free, made possible by Mohegan Sun. And what was planned over the weekend has changed dramatically. When last night, if you were watching the Philly Met game, you start hearing chants of USA, USA. And then it becomes clear whether you found out via Twitter or Facebook or it turned on the news or whatever it may be, that after almost 10 years, we have finally gotten Osama Bin Laden And just an amazing day for this country, an amazing day for all of us because of being in New Yorkers and what took place here 10 years ago. And again, how sports is amazingly intertwined in what took place on 9/11, 2001. So there's going to be a lot of that today. We want all your calls. Al and I drove kind of past Ground Zero this morning on our way out of the city down to Long Island today for the show. Boomer, of course, talking to a lot of people affected by it. And, of course, if you're watching the Philly Met game, to see Philly fans and Met fans together chanting USA was, again, a very, very special moment in sports that was transcended by the events over the last 24 hours when we find out that we finally got the guy, Osama Bin Laden. Good morning, Boomer. How are you today, buddy boy?
You know what, Craigie? I'm actually...
Can we turn on Boomer's mic? All right.
I'm actually doing... You hear me now? Okay, good. I'm actually doing great this morning. It was a great weekend for me. It was a great weekend for me, but it's an even better weekend because of what happened last night. And
right.
Watching that Met game, I think all of us probably had the goosebumps on the back of our neck. But I'll tell you one thing. The range of emotions that you go through when you're personally affected by something like this, from great joy and happiness, and you have a great pride that is associated with it, but it's also sadness because it brings back, once again, the memories of what happened that day almost a decade ago.
Right.
And I will say this. I wake up this morning, I think I speak for all of my friends that have been through all of this, that today is a great day to be an American. No
I think
question.
so. You know, it's funny. It's funny to me because I found out, and we'll find out from you how you found out, if you were watching the Philly Met game or what the case may be. So I'm going to bed. I'm slowly drifting off to bed last night. You know, I'm watching the Philly Met game. Now, my son, Sonny D, who's 8, he was at the game last night. We drove him down to Philly. A buddy of his had tickets for Philly's Mets, and we set it up that he could go to the game, right? Mm-hmm. My 8-year-old son calls me and says, Daddy, we got Bin Laden. He wasn't alive when it happened. Only my daughter, Mickey J, was. And then, of course, you turned up the sound of the TV, and as the announcers figured it out, and we'll play a lot of that audio for you. I did not hear it on the fan, but I'm sure Harry and Wayne did a great job covering as well. But it's interesting, at least personally, you know, that my 8-year-old called me to tell me.
Think about that for a second. When you think about your childhood memories and all those things that you and I remember from our childhood, what Sonny D is going to remember, say, 35, 40 years ago, if he's doing what you're doing, he's going to be talking about it.
He's not doing this.
And he's going to remember, but he's going to remember that he was at a Philly Met game in Philadelphia, and it's where cats and dogs all came together.
That's it.
And all became one again, and that was in Americans. And I thought that Terry Collins made some very, very good remarks after the game yesterday. I'm going to let you tell everybody what he said, but reading them this morning and understanding where Terry was in the moment, I thought he made a couple really good points.
It's really amazing to me because it's 1-1. Here the Mets are trying to avoid being swept, lose their 4th game in a row. Now, they're unaware of what's happening. The fans start chanting USA, USA. A couple guys then go into the locker room to see what's going on. They flip on the TV, and the word starts spreading. Word actually started spreading, according to some guys in the Mets, in the late 6th, early 7th inning, all right, before everyone really figured out by the 9th inning what was going on. And Terry Collins said, and this shows you, his mind's on baseball, 100%.
Sure it is.
But right after the game, Terry Collins said, you know what I wish we had done? I wish we had stopped the game once we knew what happened, had both teams come out on the field together and maybe, I don't know, turn and clap with the fans, whatever, what have you, and play God Bless America one more time. Now, could you imagine, what we remember baseball-wise, outside of the World Series, the Yankee World Series against Arizona, is the Mike Piazza home run against the Braves, and how big that was for New York at that moment, right? Mm-hmm. Could you imagine if Phillies and Mets got together on the field yesterday and did that? What an amazing moment that would have been.
You know, people often ask, you know, why would you intertwine sports into something like this that is so global in nature and there's so many significant feelings that go along with it? Well, it just so happens that, you know, they're on national television.
That's right.
There's 50,000 people all, you know, there for one reason, and those 50,000 people all start chanting USA, USA, USA. You can't help but intertwine both stories. So it was a very poignant moment last night, to say the least. And I think that those replays that you will see from that game, and I don't know if it went on anywhere else around Major League Baseball, or even if there was
the only game going on.
Only game going on.
Maybe I don't even know if the Dodgers.
I guarantee you, ESPN will have that thing going for the whole entire week, and rightfully so, because it was a moment that for many, for all of us, for that matter, there's an end point now. There was justice served, but then there's also the vigilance that is needed moving forward.
Yeah, and I would hope that HBO, and I'm going to give him a call later on today, see if our boy RG will come on about it. Remember that they did one of the great documentaries of 9 innings from ground zero. Remember that documentary?
Yes.
Where they intertwine, and President Bush, throwing out the first pitch and all that stuff. So hopefully they'll air that again. But now you got the great capper on it. That we got him, Bin Laden. And listen, we want your calls on it. 877-337-6666. If you were watching the Met Philly game last night and everything in between, it's kind of, I don't know how you do a show in New York today and not make this the far majority of what we do. Now, there's a lot of things we can get to. Obviously, the Jet draft picks are all felons, apparently, going to jail. Or been in jail or could be in jail. You got this one guy, McKnight, who threatened to maim and kill his teacher and her family. You got another guy who stabbed in a gang fight. Another guy who broke some dude's jaw. 3 guys that were very close to being felons.
Hello, Super Bowl. Here we
right?
come.
I mean, you got that. You got the Mets finally winning a game against Philly last night. You have the Giant draft. Now, Pat Hanlon, who's an absolute nobody, going after Rex Ryan, who's actually been to back-to-back AFC Championship games. They're fighting on Twitter. I mean, there's a lot of things to get to.
About? Come on.
But we got Bin Laden.
We did get Bin Laden.
We got him.
That's right. You can kiss my ass is right.
You kiss my ass.
That's
exactly right. And we are broadcasting live today.
How about this, though?
From the Boomer Esiason Foundation Golf Tournament.
And one of the stories here is that, Kenneth Fitzgerald has always been a long-standing partner of my foundation's golf tournament here. And they've been at every single one of these tournaments supporting our fight against cystic fibrosis. My dear friend Howard Lutnick, who will be here today, and hopefully he'll get here before 10 o'clock. We could speak to him. He lost over 650 employees, including his brother, his best friend, pretty much everybody that was at his 40th birthday party that year in 2001. All perished on that fateful day in September. So hopefully we can get him here. If he wants to talk about it, he'll be a good guy to talk to. But, yeah, we're at my golf tournament. This has been 18 years.
Is this the 18th tournament?
It's been a labor of love, and certainly the folks out here in Long Island take very, very good care of us, and all the support that we get throughout the years that we'll raise a ton of dough today. Probably it will be our biggest fundraiser, golf tournament fundraiser in the history of our foundation.
Is that right? And the weather's supposed to be great today.
Right, and under some very adverse economic situations going on over the last few years, but yet still the people who come and support this are here every single year.
I'm going to win it this year, by the way.
I don't think you will.
I'm just putting it out there.
I know you won't.
No, I'm getting 20 strokes. I'm going to win it. I decided I'm taking the highest handicap allowed, my goal is to win low gross.
By the way, the highest handicap allowed is 14.
Well, I'm taking 14.
That's
low gross is all me.
I don't
what do I
think
need
so.
to win, like a 58 low gross?
Probably
in the high 60s
a low gross.
Go ahead.
We don't have a low gross. We only have one. We have one prize. It's low net.
Yeah, but I mean low net. That's right.
Well, low net. That's what you want to talk.
I got a chance for low net. Usually 70 wins that?
Usually what wins is somewhere between 4 or 5 under.
4 or 5
so you're looking
under.
Like a 67, 66, somewhere around there.
So if I can bang out an 81 today, I got a chance for low net.
You got a chance.
All right.
But you know what? I saw you playing last week.
That's right.
And I played yesterday too, and I played with another friend of mine who also has ADD. Mm-hmm. And one of the other guys in the group said, "I don't know what's worse, having ADD or having a friend who has ADD."
Right.
Watching them play golf.
Well, listen,
it's
81's on the table today, my friends.
It's tough, dude,
81.
I'm telling you.
So listen, we want all your calls. It's a great day in this country's history, a great day for us New Yorkers. Already thousands of people out of Ground Zero. Saying prayers and singing the
how about the people that
national
showed
anthem
up?
and stuff.
How about the people that showed up outside the White House yesterday?
Yep.
And then how about this? How about if you were that lucky guy? Well, I don't say lucky, but that guy that was a part of that SEAL team that went in there,
right?
And you knew that you had a chance to take him out. You
take him out.
As it's been reported, they asked him to surrender. They said, "We're not surrendering."
Right.
And
boom.
Bang. One
right.
right.
They used a woman, I guess, as a shield. And not a single American in that attack was hurt, apparently.
Right.
And the way I read it or heard it, got a headshot and took him out.
That's right.
And then I guess they throw his body overboard in the ocean or something. I think it's Islamic law, actually.
Well, you want to dispose of the body within 24 hours, as I understand it, and I believe that they would probably want to drop him off at sea because they don't want to have some place on land where people can congregate to and martyrize him. Is it martyrize him or martyr him? So I don't know, but all I know is that today is a great day for all of us.
And let's get started on the phones. 877-337-6666. Sports, of course, and not that we don't have fun today, but a lot of the fun goes aside because it is such an important day here in New York and for this country. As we got him, right?
That's all that matters.
We got him, and Obama got him. Give him credit. He was very clear. I ordered the attack.
Yeah, but get this, though.
So good for him.
You have to imagine that Pakistan had to say, okay, you can go get him.
I imagine there was obviously had to be some cooperation.
He was in some compound, some high-end compound in Pakistan.
Right.
So Pakistan, the Pakistani people say, okay, you can go in and get him now.
Go get him.
Go get him.
Well, we got him. Navy SEALs are the best, right? Here's Eddie in Connecticut on the fan. Eddie, good morning. How you doing, buddy?
Hello.
Hello.
What's happening, Eddie?
Gentlemen, how we doing this
Great.
morning? Great day.
Really
Great
a
day to be
great day.
American.
It really
Great
is.
day. It really is. Hey, listen, I don't know if you guys told him or the message got passed along to come get some. Well, he finally did, and he bit the bullet this time, didn't he?
Yeah,
10
listen.
years.
It's been 10. It's amazing. It's been 10 years, and again, I'll be very personal about it. The fact that my son called me from the Philly Met game last night, and he wasn't born, and now I got a kid in 3rd grade who actually he's the one that told me about it. Very surreal for me, but we got him. So that's all there is to it. Good job on that, Eddie. Thank you, buddy. Go ahead, Boom.
I was just going to say, and the other aspect of all of this is I'm just glad it wasn't some drone airstrike that got him. As one of
You
our
like the
guys,
fact that it was up close.
one of our
pop.
guys taking him right out.
Right.
I'm just telling you, that's exactly how he should have went.
Here's Angelo in Staten Island on the fan. Angelo, good morning. How you doing, buddy?
Good morning, boys. Hello.
Hello.
What's happening,
La,
Ange?
la, la.
This is a fantastic day for all the boys that went down on 9/11. The fact of the matter is, he's been a thorn in New York side for a long time, and I could not be any happier. I woke up even last night when they announced the news, and it was just amazing. It's just a great feeling. I think it's sort of closure for a lot of the families as well.
Yeah,
So it's all
I mean,
good.
I don't know. I'm not a big closure guy, but I think for a lot of people, and I'm blessed that no one in my immediate family died that day. But I think for a lot of families, Bin Laden, now that he's dead, probably is closure. What do you think, Booms?
Well, I know this, that for a very dear friend of mine, Timmy O'Brien, who was one of my original board members for our foundation, and he loved this golf tournament. He was the guy that really supported everything that we did. He died that day. I would imagine that his family, both his mom and dad, and of course his wife and their children, I would imagine that today they wake up in a sense, not a closure, but joy that the guy who was responsible for what happened on September 11th, 2001 was finally taken down.
There you go. Hey, listen, it's Boomer and Carton live from the Boomer Esiason Foundation Golf Tournament, trying to fight and find a cure and eradicate cystic fibrosis from the world. And we'll have a very special broadcast throughout the day for you today. Plus, coming up, a very special in-studio guest tomorrow. And we can promote that. At 7 o'clock this morning, we'll tell you who's coming in studio to get one-on-one with Boomer and Carton. But throughout the day today, it's all about what took place last night during the Met-Philly game and the fact that we find out that on almost the 10-year anniversary, we finally got Osama Bin Laden. Adorama, Boomer. More than a camera store. The secret's out. The dudes at Adorama have not only been a top global camera retailer for more than 30 years, but they also sell home theaters, computers, copiers, headsets, earbuds, iPads, MP3 players, and more cameras.
To have an event. It's more than an event. It's a movement. Hyundai.
Join the movement today with a surprising
5 hour.
2000. Your story. City can help you write it.
Boomer and Carton on the fan. About 12 hours after we find out that we got Osama Bin Laden. Welcome back. It's the Boomer and Carton program. Not your typical Boomer and Carton program, but on a day like today, we just want to be here and allow you guys to vent, open up. If you obviously lost anyone on 9/11, if you've served this country in the Middle East, we'd love to take those calls as well. Anyone and everybody, you're welcome to call in today. As we found out late last night that we got Osama Bin Laden, a wonderful speech by our president, I thought, last night. And great job out at that Philly Met game as the entire crowd starts chanting USA. Enough to give you chills and goosebumps for sure. 877-337-6666. Mike is in East Rockaway on the Fan. Good morning, Michael. How you doing today, buddy? Michael.
Listen the first time. Anyway, guys, real quick, all the work you've done over the years for cystic fibrosis, I applaud you. Hopefully I can play in that golf tournament next year. And you guys are terrific. I know you got a lot of guys on deck waiting to call, but everybody knows someone who died in 9/11. I certainly do. Buddy of mine's brother was one of 343 firemen. So this piece of garbage couldn't have died soon enough, Osama Bin Laden. So hopefully in due time our troops will be in total withdrawal from Afghanistan. So again, I applaud you guys what you're doing this morning. So that's just my 2 cents.
Thank you, Mike. It's interesting, Mike. Chris Young, who pitched a whale of a game yesterday, apparently has an apartment on the Upper West Side. And the firehouse that services him, and I believe my apartment as well, they lost 9 firefighters on 9/11. And again, how long has Chris Young been a Met? Not that long. And Chris Young, immediately after the game, like everyone did everything, everybody yesterday did everything the right way on both sides, Phillies, Mets. And I'm sure if I start looking at other sports figures, they did too. And he goes, you know what, it's great we won the game, but to be honest about it, he goes, I'm happy we got Bin Laden. I'm thinking about the 9 guys that died and their families.
That's right. As I was telling you this morning, it's like it's a constant reminder. It's yet again another reminder. And, it's going to be the 10-year anniversary this year. And you think about where we have gone the last 10 years, where we were prior to 9/11, and all the people that we lost and how their memories are going to be, I guess, etched in all of our minds until the day we die. And think about, what's going on at Ground Zero. And I know you guys drove past it. And we see it pretty much every day because of where we work when we're in the studio down in Tribeca. So, like I said, this morning is a great day, but yet, you still have a lot of emotions. Like Mike just said, you think about the people that passed that day and the way that they died. And I think today is a little bit of justice finally.
Yeah, I just love what Chris Young said. It was the first thing that popped into my head. I'm quoting now. I don't know if thrilled is the right word, but just thinking of those 9 people and everybody that lost their lives on September 11th, and certainly the city of New York, I wouldn't say they have a lot to celebrate, but I think it's uplifting to know that we're winning the war. It's probably a night I'll never forget. I came inside and heard the news. There's some things in life that are bigger than the game, and certainly to hear the crowd, I was inside, I could hear the crowd chanting, USA. I got chills hearing that. It was pretty neat. I mean, that's Chris Young. In the moment, right after the game. And hey, can you put it any better than he did?
Well, I would imagine for guys like, just to put it into sports perspective for a second, guys that were here and are still here playing with their respective teams, like a Derek Jeter or Jorge Posada or Mariano Rivera, guys like that, I'm sure that those memories are all coming rushing back as well. So it was a very powerful time, obviously, in our nation. Today is the same, and this is the way we all should be feeling. We should feel very, very, very patriotic today. No question.
We do. Boomer and Carton on the Fan. All your calls all morning long on this, of course. We'll squeeze in some other things sports-related that just, top of mind, topical stuff for you. But, of course, this will be our focus throughout the day. Jerry Recco, of course, has the update with all the actual sports on the field happenings and some sound from last night's Met game as well. Jerry?
Sponsored by Pepsi Max. New look, same great taste. Pepsi Max, 0 calories, maximum Pepsi taste. And in the midst of the Mets beating the Phillies last night, 2-1-14, the news of Bin Laden's death, Howie Rose capturing the moment on the Fan.
Well, simply from the baseball perspective, a very intriguing game, and now a globally huge story beginning to break, and the crowd here at the ballpark getting wind of it.
Yeah, as you heard the chants of USA, it made the Mets avoiding the sweep seem so meaningless. Manager Terry Collins says crazy night.
One of the guys said at the end of the game, that's as big a night as we'll have in a long time. We got Bin Laden and we won.
Yeah, and David Wright, upon hearing the chants at Citizens Bank Park.
I don't like to give Philadelphia fans too much credit, but they got this one right.
Pedro Beato chiming in with praise for the troops, all the troops who have given so much.
Mission accomplished. That's what our troops, our people out there for.
In terms of the game, Ronnie Paulino, go-ahead RBI double. Paulino, 5 hits on the night. Wright, 3 hits. He scored both runs. Taylor Buchholz, the win in relief. Chris Young through 7 solid innings.
And by the way, Beato went to high school in Brooklyn. When he came in from the Dominican Republic, and remembers as a young kid, seeing smoke from the building. So, listen, I don't care where you're from, it affects everyone. But you have a lot of guys who have a legitimate New York connection. Whether it's Chris Young, who has an apartment, who knew, right? Whether it's Beato, went to Xaverian, right? Zavarian, excuse me. You can hear a lot of this today. I think today's going to be a real great day, a real special day.
At the stadium before all this happened, the Yankees used the long ball and beat the Blue Jays.
The Grandy Man can. No, the Grandy Man can.
And then there's John Sterling.
And the Yankees take a 5-2 lead.
That's just baseball. Crazy.
5-2 would be the final. Mark Teixeira.
John, guess what, John?
John Sterling, WCBS.
Thank God it was Howie and Wayne and not John and Susan last night, that it wasn't a Yankee 8 o'clock Red Sox game, something like that.
Manager Joe Girardi on Granderson this year.
That's one of the reasons we turned him loose 3-0, because we love the way he's swinging the bat.
8 home runs for Granderson, who has been very successful. Here's Granderson on Granderson.
The ball just happened to get over the fence a little bit earlier this year.
That guy's having a great
sure
season
is.
right now.
Yankees tonight will be in Detroit. The Dodgers lost to the Giants, but Andre Ethier now with a 27-game hitting streak. NBA playoffs, Eastern Conference semifinals. Heat beat the Celtics 99-90. Paul Pierce ejected, annoyed with the way the game was being officiated. Head coach Doc Rivers says he was right.
All they did was talking about being physical. To me, that's not physical, by the way. That's chippy.
It was chippy because there were apparently 2 plays where flagrant foul should have been called and were not in terms of Miami, and Rivers wasn't happy. Dwayne Wade, LeBron James combined for 60, so they have a 1-0 series lead. Western Conference semifinals, the Grizzlies all over the Thunder in Oklahoma City, 114-101. Zach Randolph had 34. NHL playoffs, the Lightning stopped the Cat. Yeah, played really well yesterday. The Lightning beat the Capitals in overtime.
Not
Doc
for nothing,
Emmerich.
that's pretty awesome.
That's Doc Emmerich for you on NBC.
And in another playoff game that took place in Montreal over the weekend, the Boomer Esiason-led All-City over 40 team. I was checking out the stats
first
over
of all,
the weekend.
I did not lead the team.
Clearly, no one did. You guys couldn't score a goal, couldn't
on.
win a game until the last day for the bronze medal. Came in fourth.
Yeah.
4 teams, 4th place.
We played 2 teams from New Jersey, Goldschlager and the Whalers.
That's
and the Whalers beat us 1-0 yesterday in the bronze medal game with 10 seconds left to
How
go
do
in
you
the
get
game.
to the bronze medal game with 1 win?
Well, there's always a bronze medal game with 4 teams.
First of all, we had 1 win, 1 tie, and 1 loss, which means 3 points. And we had the best goals against because our goalie Paulie was awesome over the weekend. I only had 1 goal,
Not
though,
awesome
but it was a shorthanded goal.
But
shorthanded goal.
I had a shorthanded goal.
It just hit me. You defended the fact that you didn't play well this weekend, that you were in the bronze medal game earlier.
Yeah.
There were only 4 teams.
That's
No, there were 6 teams.
I thought you just said there were 4.
No, there were 6 teams.
That's not bad, then.
That Goldschlager team's tough to beat.
No, we beat them 6-0.
There you go. Nice.
And then we tied the Whalers 2-2, and then we lost to them 1-0. It's a great game. Great bunch of guys. It was a great weekend in Montreal. And like I told you, the last time I did one of these, it's just a great
male bonding, right?
Fraternity. It's just a fraternity of hockey players that can truly only.
You can just hang out with me, Al, and Jerry on a random Wednesday night if you want, and you get the same kind of action now.
You're absolutely miserable. Walking the streets of Montreal though with those lunatics, let me tell you something.
I mean, if you're looking for male bonding, I'm free any night of the week, Boomer, and I can make sure that Al and Jerry are there as well.
That's okay.
Just putting it out there for you. What else, Jerry?
Also, the Sharks beat the Red Wings 2-1. San Jose up 2 games to none as well.
All right, that's Jerry Rello. Of course, the big news, we got Bin Laden, and it broke out again. Amazing how sports is intertwined, as Boomer said, during a Met-Philly game. And I really wish what Terry Collins said had happened. Now, you can't prepare for something like that because who knows it's going to break, the news is going to break. But could you imagine had the Phillies and Mets called timeout, essentially?
You know what?
Come on the field, turn to the crowd, done a little cheering, that kind of thing. Had them replay the Star Spangled Banner, God Bless America, America the Beautiful. Could you imagine? As good as it was last night. Last night was great. My 8-year-old called me in the middle of the game, Daddy, we got Bin Laden.
It's unbelievable that Sonny went through something like that, too. And you think about memories, that is truly a memory for him that's going to last a lifetime.
For sure. But it would have been great had they done that. Nonetheless, it's a great day, and we want to be here for you and talk to you and let you just express your overall joy and enthusiasm and emotion after what happened last night. Here's Buck and Douglaston on the Fan. Buck, good morning. How you doing, buddy?
Good. How are you guys?
Doing good, kiddo.
All right, Buggy, what's happening?
It's a good day. I was on the 25th floor of the North Tower, so I got out pretty quick. I was very fortunate. And to watch those firemen walking up the stairs, they'd yell, get to the left, firemen coming up. But, Boomer, I know you were tight with a lot of people, as I was, because I see you in Tall Ship's bar every once in a while downstairs.
Yeah, I had my office was on the 101st floor of the World Trade Center North Tower, and we were in Cantor Fitzgerald. Howard Lutnick and his group of guys gave us free office space up
Right.
there, one of the reasons that we were able to raise so much money. And fortunately for me, none of my employees were in the office when the planes hit. I had one employee in the basement on her way to work, but everybody else was out of the office for different reasons. So we were fortunate, but I knew all the guys on 105. We knew all the mail folks. We knew everybody up there, the custodians. You create a relationship with a lot of these people, and then you realize as time goes on, how many people didn't come out of that building. And it took us really a good couple months to really understand the true depth of how many people we did lose.
Boomer and Carton. I apologize for that, Buck. Go ahead.
Well, Timmy Conlon was a buddy of yours. I think you met.
That's right. Yep.
Up at Kenner.
Yep.
Buck,
Yeah,
I appreciate the call, kiddo. Thank you very much for sharing that, Buck. We'll get all your calls, 877-337-6666. As you know, it's 640 or as close as we can get. Boomer always uses his contacts to get us Hot Rock tickets, and we give them away every day at 640 now. Today, a little Skinner,
Ooh, I
Boomer.
like it. You know what? By the way, that shorthanded goal I had was an empty netter, too.
Doesn't count then.
I have to be honest.
There's no one playing defense.
I must have had 30 shots on goal, and the only goal I had was a shorthanded goal, empty net.
Hey,
How
listen,
about that?
it still counts.
Oh, I had
10 years from now, when you look back, you go, oh, that was a slap shot from the blue line.
Craig had such a great time. I can't even tell you. All right, it's time for WFAN 640 ticket drop, as Craig just told you. Right now, be calling number 7 at 866-540-WFAN. That's 866.
Boomer and Carton is brought to you in part by WeatherTech. Don't wait until it's too late. For complete protection of your vehicle's interior, shop WeatherTech.com.
Welcome to the Department of Negotiation, home to the latest deal-making technology. Our highly advanced thingamajigs and whatchamacallits are constantly gathering intelligence on the best deals for you. With Name Your Own Price, they're yours for up to 60% off. But we're always looking to improve. For instance, what does this have to do with finding hotel deals? We're not sure. Yet.
When you have the 2011 International Car of the Year, the Hyundai Sonata, getting a best-in-class 35 miles per gallon with best-in-class horsepower, starting at less than $20,000, you don't need to have an event. It's more than an event. It's a movement. Hyundai.
Join the movement today with a surprising $199 lease or 0.9% APR on the 2011 Sonata, but only at your local Hyundai dealer.
In Albuquerque, Citi pre-approved my mortgage.
All right, Labs, guys, let's go.
In Sioux Falls, I locked in a rate.
Coach, you get that house yet? Working on it.
The appraisal? Springfield. Wherever I was, my Citi mortgage consultant had me covered. And 500 miles from home, we finally had a new home.
From pre-approval to closing, Citi is with you every step of the way. What's your story? Citi can help you write it.
For all that's out there, Range Rover Sport, powered by intelligence.
This hour of Boomer and Carton is brought to you by Citibank. What's your story? Citi can help you write it.
That one is lined to left center field, giving Chase Granderson on the run. And he makes the play. He took an extra base. The 2-2. That one is driven to right field and deep. Going back Bautista on the track, looking up. Single. Strong enough. Swing. It's got him. These things come to play so much more. That one is driven to right field and deep. Going back Bautista on the track, looking up.
when the weather outside is dreadful, the damage to your vehicle's floors can be frightful. Because even if you have those ordinary mats, all kinds of permanent stains find their way off those mats and onto your floors anyway. Unless you have WeatherTech floor liners. WeatherTech liners are laser measured to custom fit and perfectly protect your specific make and model. Front, back, even up the sides. So all of life's little permanent reminders go into the liner and stay in the liner until you wash them away. You can find your WeatherTech floor liners at WeatherTech.com. Just enter your vehicle make and model, select the liner and color, and say goodbye to all those little resale robbing reminders. Questions? Give us a call at 1-800-CARMATS. Don't wait until it's too late. Order your WeatherTech protection today at WeatherTech.com. WeatherTech floor liners. Complete protection, completely American made at WeatherTech.com.
Is that who I think it is?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Are you staging a comeback? Because it feels like you're staging a comeback.
I feel better than ever. Stronger in my legs, my core, my back.
Comeback! Yes!
It's got your shape-ups. Get back in the game.
Throughout the playoffs, it's Hockey Night Live.
It's the most important time of the year.
That's a great hit. We're trying to watch 6 games at once.
We're all hockey junkies. Sometimes we'll disagree.
It's not that big of a deal.
It's a story of great expectation, and we're going to follow it.
This is Hockey Night Live.
Into the area, shot, goal! There it is, Henri! Henri across, Rogers, goal! The team captain steps up for New York. Goal!
The Red Bulls battle Chivas USA May 15th on MSG+.
Oh boy, you make me feel like, oh boy, you make me feel like no boy can make me feel like you. I really, really want.
There's more to life than a Volvo. There's the freedom to change your mind and to change it back again. Introducing the new 2011 C70, exceptionally well equipped at $39,950. There's more to life than a Volvo. That's why you drive one. The Volvo Sign and Drive. Lease the 2011 Volvo C70 for $499 a month and pay nothing at signing.
You're watching Boomer and Carton on MSG. This hour of Boomer and Carton is brought to you by Citibank. What's your story? Citi can help you write it.
Lot of heavy traffic. Slow down also southbound from the LIE to the Kosciuszko. 20-minute delays at all the Hudson River crossings. Over to New Jersey, 1 and 9 northbound at East Lincoln Avenue. That's closed due to an accident. Overturned vehicle right at the center there. The southbound at Avenue C, only the right lane is getting by. Alternate side street parking rules are in effect. And in Queens, we have a working fire over on 65th Place. The WFAN forecast for today, going to see some clouds. Going to see a break or two of sunshine, but also the risk of showers this afternoon. Going up to about 67 degrees, currently at 52. I'm Tracy Burgess with the RNL Carriers Fan Highway Patrol.
A two-run homer for Mike Piazza. He hit it over the center field fence.
You're listening to Boomer Esiason and Craig Carton.
Oh, that's great. That was a great moment in time for Met fans. Here, Murph again, and of course the big Piazza home run post 9/11. And one of those days. What a great day today to wake up. Bin Laden is dead. We got him. The Navy SEALs went in, a tactical attack, and apparently a headshot, and took him and everyone else in that house out. I believe one of his sons was in that house. They got him. They got a couple other henchmen. And however you found out, we'd love to hear, by the way, how you found out about it. And, of course, who you may have lost that day, or if you have any kind of emotion that's pouring out of you right now. I just feel the need to share it. Of course, we'll do this all morning long because it's important.
It's kind of interesting that today on the golf course, what I did is I have American flags on all the poles.
Okay.
You'll see them when you're out there, and they're beautiful. And I'm thinking that, so I told one of my staff members, go out and get me one of those American flags. So
Yeah.
if you're watching on MSG, I have the MSG folks working on making sure that we have the American flag on. I don't know if I was, I had visions or whatever it was, but today turns out to be a very patriotic day, and it's certainly for us here on the golf course, you're going to be seeing a lot of American flags all over the place.
And there's going to be a lot of people, without getting too personal specific, there'll be a lot of people of the near 200 people that play in this golf tournament today that, like everyone else listening to us and us included, that were very, very touched by this because you have a lot of Wall Street guys playing here today who either had offices down there or
That's
lost
right.
people down
Yep.
there. Of course, Lutnick, the biggest of all, with Cantor Fitzgerald. So today's golf tournament will be a very interesting one, at least before we play and then at the lunch after.
Without question.
So here's Mike in Freehold on the Fan. Michael, good morning. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, Boomer Carton, how are you?
What's up,
Okay,
baby?
Michael, what's happening today?
Hey, good story for you here. First of all, you guys are great, man. Listen to you every morning.
Thank you.
Hang and bang at the gym here. Hey, so lost my sister. My mother actually was on the phone with my sister when the building came down. She was in the second building, KBW, 89th floor. So took my parents out. It was my sister's 50th birthday, as well as my parents' 50th anniversary.
Mm-hmm.
So we were at Carmine, then we went to Jersey Boys. We actually had a toast over dinner Saturday night to getting Bin Laden before 9/11 this year, which was the 10th year anniversary. And son of a gun, next day, phone goes off last night. Good day for us.
Well, just out of curiosity, I just got chills. How did you find out last night?
Oh, my phone didn't stop ringing. I actually, I was sleeping and the phone just came off the hook, and a lot of happy people. I was a Staten Islander. We moved to Jersey. I lost
Right.
my sister, my two next door neighbors, and double-digit friends. So
I hear you.
It hit us pretty hard.
Well, I appreciate it, and I hear the emotion in your voice. Thank you, Michael. Appreciate you sharing that with us, kiddo. That's Mike in Freehold. Let's go to Mike in Jersey as well. Mike, good morning. You're on Boomer and Carton on the Fan. How you doing today, buddy?
Good morning, guys. How you doing?
All right, Mike, what's going on today, babe?
My emotions are running rampant thinking about everything that went on in the last 24 hours. I'm a retired New York City fireman, and I had a nice weekend. Yesterday was my birthday, and my grandkids were down, and when they left last night about 7 o'clock, I've been thinking about a lot of things with 9/11, the 10th year anniversary coming up, and sometimes I feel like people have forgotten and stuff. And seeing last night on the news in Washington, New York City, I see that I was wrong in my feelings, that people haven't forgotten, and it's such a great feeling that hopefully some of these families, I know, like Craig said, closure might not be the word, but at least they got something, you know what I mean?
There's some sort of satisfaction, Mike, that we all have, and there's no question about that. And the fact is it couldn't have been a better birthday present for you, huh?
You're right on the button. And Boomer, I wanted to say something to you. I've been a big fan, and all the guys in the firehouse over the years, we rooted for you all the time, especially with what was going on with your son. And I'm so happy that everything's going well with him today, and he's in college, and the charity golf tournament. I hope it's a success every year for the years to come, because you're a class act and the way you conduct yourself, and you too, Craig. The show is great. All the guys love you, and It's
Hey,
good.
Mike, out of curiosity, was your ladder company called down?
Yes, a lot of my friends would, it's
Right.
like, I don't even like talking about
I understand.
this, because it's a heavy heart sometimes, but a lot of my friends were lost and stuff, and, sometimes you say, it could have been me, and, I'm here with my family and my grandkids and enjoying life, and then I know that so many families are missing their dads, and of course, moms, too, that went down that day, and, you just... I get emotional.
For sure. Well, there's nothing wrong with that, Mike. We appreciate the call. Happy birthday to you. Thanks for calling in, kiddo.
Thanks, guys.
All right, Mike. It's a day like that. I don't care how tough a guy you are today. It's that day, right?
Well, you could hear the emotion coming
For sure.
through the phone, and I'll tell you what, I could feel it. I could feel
Yeah, it's tangible. That's why I made Al drive past. We did not stop or get out, but just drive past the area on the way out of the city today, because we both went into the office today. And it just, you saw it out by the White House yesterday. I'm sure there'll be a lot of services or gatherings throughout.
And you saw it on TV last night on ESPN.
Today's going to be a very emotional day for the country, emotional day for us as New Yorkers, because by this point, it depends what time you went to bed last night. A lot of people may have gone to bed not knowing, and you wake up this morning saying, what the hell's going on? It's a great day, an emotional day. I'm sure there'll be, thousands and thousands of people down by the site all day today, and probably for the rest of the week, I'd imagine. White House out in Pennsylvania, of course. At the Pentagon. So it's going to be a very interesting day. Bo is in Boston on the Fan. Bo, good morning. You're on Boomer and Carton. How you doing, buddy?
Morning, guys.
Hey.
Nice spontaneous production decision to go with this. This is a great thing.
It's the way it's supposed to
Thank
be,
you for
Bo, and
that.
that's exactly what we should be doing. So what's happening with you today, man?
I lost a good friend on a plane from Boston and New York, and there's this New York-Boston rivalry that rears its ugly head every once in a while and gets out of hand. But there's a tragic link between these two great cities, and today we're brothers and sisters once again. Your enemy, my enemy's enemy is my best friend, and I think we put away the rivalries and know who our enemies are as opposed to our rivals. And go Navy.
Well,
I
got you, brother. That's the way to go. And, the thing about it is sports is one thing. You could root for your team and all that other stuff, but at the end of the day, what do we all? We all bleed red, white, and blue, right?
I mean, it's really amazing. New York, Philly, Mets, Phillies.
Of all places, right?
Everyone chanting USA. And, of course, here's a guy who's obviously a Red Sox fan. He's right. It's just it's a very, very special day. And if you're not talking about this today, you're missing out on the big picture here, because this is what is absolutely affecting all of us. It's the only thing we'll be talking about today and for the next couple of days, and rightfully so.
And don't think for one moment that when games get started today, no matter where they are, whether they're college, whether they're pro, there's going to be a different feeling when you're singing the national anthem. Or God
imagine there'll be
America.
a moment of silence here before every game in America today.
I've got to believe that there'll be something like that.
Now, just locally, Mets are off today. They have San Francisco tomorrow, so the Met fans, at least being at the ballpark, will have their first chance to show that kind of solidarity tomorrow. And the Yankees are in Detroit tonight, so we'll see how that happens in Detroit. But obviously, I would also not be surprised, and I don't want to go overboard, but you would think that you'll have maybe Yankees wearing the NYPD hats again, something like that, just to show New Yorkers that, you know what, even though we're in Detroit, we're with you, we get it, the whole bit. I think it'd be a nice little touch if they did that personally.
Sure.
That's just me. 877-337-6666. It's Boomer and Carton live from the 18th annual Boomer Esiason Foundation Golf Tournament. Almost no reason to play today, as I will win the tournament this year. I have one round of golf under my belt. Broke 100. Come get some.
I don't think you're going to win because I know who your partner is, and he stinks too. All right, so here you go. Let me
Fair
tell you
point.
about a great airline, folks. Do you know that the Scandinavian Airlines is the leading airline?
Thousands of innocent men, women, and children. Today, at my direction, the United States launched a targeted operation against that compound in Abbottabad, Pakistan. A small team of Americans carried out the operation with extraordinary courage and capability. No Americans were harmed. They took care to avoid civilian casualties. After a firefight, they killed Osama Bin Laden and took custody of his body. The American people did not choose this fight. It came to our shores and started with the senseless slaughter of our citizens. As a country, we will never tolerate our security being threatened, nor stand idly by when our people have been killed. We will be relentless in defense of our citizens and our friends and allies. We will be true to the values that make us who we are. And on nights like this one, we can say to those families who have lost loved ones to al-Qaeda's terror, justice has been done. Tonight, we are once again reminded that America can do whatever we set our mind to. That is the story of our history. Whether it's the pursuit of prosperity for our people, or the struggle for equality for all our citizens, our commitment to stand up for our values abroad, and our sacrifices to make the world a safer place. Let us remember that we can do these things not just because of wealth or power, but because of who we are. One nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. May God bless you. And may God bless the United States of America.
And I want to say one more thing. In the spirit of the Irish people, Osama Bin Laden You can kiss my Royal Irish ass. And I live in Rockaway, and this is my face, bitch.
It's Boomer Esiason and Craig Carton.
Yeah, who can forget that during the concert for New York at the Garden, of course? That was great. Well, it's Boomer and Carton on the Fan. We're broadcasting live from the Boomer Esiason Foundation Golf Tournament, the 18th annual tournament, and I believe our fourth time here. So looking forward to a wonderful day, and now the day carries so much more with it as we find out that Bin Laden has been killed. We'll get your thoughts and memories of 10 years ago and how you found out last night and just anything you want to just talk about. We're here for you today, and we're going to share those moments with you. Before we get back to you on the phones, we go to Tracy Burgess and Jerry Recco. Jerry's got the scores from last night, and Tracy's got more details on what took place about 8 hours ago.
And Craig, the news breaking during the Met-Philly game last night, a game in which the Mets avoid the sweep and beat the Phils in 14 innings, 2-1. Ronnie Paulino had a night, 5 hits, including the go-ahead RBI double. Earlier in the day, the Yankees down the Blue Jays 5-2, couple of home runs, one from Curtis Granderson, the other from Mark Teixeira. Yankees in Detroit tonight. NBA playoffs, Eastern Conference semifinals, game 1 to the Heat, 99-90 past the Celtics. Out west, Grizzlies over the Thunder in game 1, 114-101. And then on the ice, NHL playoffs, the Lightning beat the Capitals in overtime 3-2. Tampa up 2-0, taking both games in Washington, and the Sharks go up 2-0 on the Red Wings, winning 2-1.
All right, Tracy Burgess, what else we got?
We're brought to you by Preparation H. New Preparation H totables, discreet little tubes, capped with big relief. They're anywhere Preparation H from the brand. Doctors recommend most by name. And 800 Flowers. My mom lives in another state, but 1-800-Flowers is helping me span the miles this Mother's Day. It's a great deal. 18 multicolored flowers and free vase for just $29.95. Go to 1-800-Flowers.com. Click on the radio microphone, enter the keyword traffic problems. On the Williamsburg Bridge, Manhattan-bound, stall blocking the lane on both the inner and outer roadways. An inbound George, upper-level accident, center lane blocked just past the toll plaza, so 30-minute delays there. The WFAM forecast brought to you by Chevy and their award-winning cars, trucks, and crossovers. Come clouds, maybe a break or two of sun, but maybe an afternoon shower too. 67 degrees, 52 right now, and what an incredible day in New York. Around 3:30 yesterday afternoon, our time, in Pakistan, American forces helicoptered, dropped inside gated walls, and in a firefight killed wanted terrorist number 1 Osama Bin Laden. President Obama announced that to the world last night.
On nights like this one, we can say to those families who have lost loved ones to al-Qaeda's terror, justice has been done.
The president said he spoke with former Presidents Bush and Clinton before making the announcement to the American people. The news immediately became worldwide top trend on Twitter, on Facebook, and it sparked this reaction of relief from ranking head of the Congressional Homeland Security Committee, Peter King.
I couldn't believe it. I mean, I lost so many friends and neighbors on September 11th. There's so many New Yorkers did, and we've come close a number of times, and to actually hear that he was dead, that he had been killed, that we got him.
Yeah, here in New York, there's beefed up security today at the GW Bridge, the tunnels, the World Trade Center site, and other high visibility targets. The strike also brings into question America's relationship with Pakistan because apparently he was living there more or less out in the open, and we found out about it in August, and they were still denying that he was in the country.
Yeah, and Trace, let me just jump in on that. I was listening to CBS News this morning coming in, and not only that, they said that the way they found out where he was is through interrogating a couple of these guys at Gitmo.
Yeah, I know.
So if everyone that wants to close that base and stop the way we interrogate these prisoners, that they found one of these guys after all the interrogations they did, and he clued our guys into where this attaché might be, and that's how it started.
Exactly.
So pretty cool.
And we got rid of the body already, but sadly, already, if you look at some of the top trends out there on some of the blogs, there are conspiracy theorists who say that picture that, I'm not kidding, the picture has been released as a fake, blah, 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 and we're going to go on from there.
I mean, to me, he's dead. I don't know.
Dead is dead.
I'm down with a conspiracy theory every now and then, but he's dead.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
There's no benefit today in announcing that we got him if we didn't get him, so that's just nonsense. All right, listen, it is a very special day, an emotional day, as Bin Laden is dead. And, of course, again, sports kind of intertwines with it in a weird way. You know, 10 years ago, the Giants had just played a Monday night game against the Denver Broncos. In the first game ever, I believe, in that brand new building out there. They come back Tuesday. Obviously, you were doing that game. Couldn't get back.
I did the game, and I was on a plane in Denver getting ready to come back home, and they told us to get off the plane.
Right. So that's how sports was there. Then, of course, the Yankees Diamondbacks. A month and a half later, with President Bush throwing out the first pitch. The Piazza home run against the Braves. We played that for you. And then last night, we're all minding our own business, watching Mets-Phillies in a great 14-inning game that the Mets win. And right about the 8th or 9th inning, you start getting calls and finding out, hey, you know what? Once again, New York's right there. And we got Bin Laden. So crazy how that all worked out for us last night. Here's Ronnie in New Rochelle on the Fan. Ronnie, how you doing, buddy?
Great job this morning. Guys, I would love to, God bless all our troops, I would love to stand and cheer the men who went in and got this job done. Do you think we'll ever get that opportunity, or will they keep them under wraps for...
I mean, the way Navy SEALs work, I would think no. Unless one of these guys, after he's out of the SEALs, decides to talk about it. But that's a different breed of good dude that goes into the SEALs and does what they did last night.
You know, I wouldn't be surprised. Well, you know, I wouldn't be surprised to see some sort of ceremony or something at the White House where there are medals given. But, you know, again, it's humble and hungry. That's what they live by.
Right.
And they want to be under the radar. They want to be looked at as people doing the job that they've been asked to do. And how many times have we run into guys like this? I've been involved with so many different visits. And even if you go down to Walter Reed Hospital, you meet all these men and women, and they're all humble. All they want to do is do what they're asked to do, and they want to be with their unit and with the people that they have basically become soldiers with.
Right.
So I wouldn't be surprised if they decided to do something from
But not
a political
because the
standpoint.
SEALs asked them to.
No,
Right.
it would be a political thing.
Right.
There would be no question about it. But at the end of the day, I know that there is one Navy SEAL somewhere across the country, across the world, that knows that he is the one that delivered
For
the
sure.
bullet right in the head to kill Osama Bin Laden.
No doubt about it. And it was weird driving in today. I immediately thought, I only met the guy once with you. We met Rocky Skillman.
Right.
I hope I pronounced his name correctly there.
The Iranian hostage.
Who was the hostage for whatever it was, 400 some odd days back during the Iran thing, right?
Yep.
And he popped into my head this morning. Driving in, you know?
Well, you can understand why.
Yeah.
And you talk about another humble and just like under the radar type of guy, and that's exactly what Rocky is. But then again, that's who our men and women are in uniform.
Here's Jimmy in Long Branch on the Fan. James, good morning. How you doing today, buddy?
Good morning, gentlemen.
Hey.
What's happening, Jim?
Proud Met fans, but more importantly, proud Americans this morning. I just think the timing of Bin Laden's capture last night just couldn't be more perfect. There's just been so many negative things going on in the world, like our bad economy, the tsunami in Japan, and even sports with the NFL lockout. I just think today's one of those days where all Americans can stand proud, united, and in a country that finds itself divided all the time, I think we need one of these wins in a while.
Yep.
One of these wins once in a while, yeah.
I don't know. You won a little bit.
I don't either, you know. And
Good job, Jim.
It's been a news cycle probably for the last 3 months of not only political unrest over in the Middle East, but also with tornadoes, tsunamis, and earthquakes, and all sorts of stuff going on.
It's a great day.
It
It's
is
a great
an
night.
absolute great day to be an American.
877-337-6666. Boomer and Carton on the Fan. We got Bin Laden. And we're here for you all day with you as New Yorkers. You want to share just thoughts from 10 years ago? You want to share thoughts of how you found out last night? How did you find out, by the way, Boom? I know I told my
Watching the Met
story.
game.
You were just watching the game. That's how you heard
with
it.
some buddies, and next thing you know, it's like we're all high-fiving.
Phones are going off,
Everything.
text messages, et cetera, et cetera.
High-fiving, people just going crazy, and you know, there was something, there was a sense of accomplishment. But then after it happened, like I said, and I'm sure these families that have been touched by 9/11 all felt the same thing I did. You're excited, you're happy, but then you're also like, you know, once again, we're reminded that our loved ones, you know, perished that day.
Right. And, you know, it is important, I think. A lot of people are talking about getting them before the 10th year anniversary. Because this year will be even...
I'll tell you what, you know what really pisses me off is he's running around over there in Pakistan, and we couldn't get him. And not because we didn't want to get him.
In broad
probably
daylight,
because of some freaking political, you know, wrangling between the Pakistani government and our government. I mean, and they probably have known this for a long time, but, you know, they finally find him just walking around over there.
All right, here's Shoppy in Bayside on the Fan. Shoppy, good morning. How you doing, buddy?
Morning, guys. How you doing?
What's happening, Shabby?
I'm a New York City police officer, and over the last 10 years, 9/11 being the pinnacle of them trying to take down our city, there's been so many other terror plots, and I just wanted to remind everybody that last May 1st, 2010, there was a plot in Times Square to put a bomb in Times Square, and this year on May 1st, we killed Osama Bin Laden, our serviceman, and we scored one for the good guys this time.
Yep, 100% right. Thanks, Shoppy. Appreciate it, buddy. And obviously we're on higher alerts now because you think there's going to be backlash, stuff like that.
I do remember, though, you think back to last year's May 1st, the only reason that damn thing didn't go off is because the guy was an idiot and he couldn't get it right.
Right.
You know, and that guy's in jail for life now, by the way.
Had he gotten it right, it would have gone off.
So that's why you have to stay vigilant. You got to keep your eyes open. And, I love what the MTA says. See something, say something, baby. That's what I'm talking about.
Is that right?
Yeah.
All right.
Port Authority Police Department.
No, I understand who it is.
If you see something, say something.
See something. I see something.
I'm telling you, all those people, all those millions of people, on their way to work, baby, keep your eyes open.
But remember, I mean, why are you punching me?
I don't know. I just felt like you needed to be punched.
I mean, the guy, thank God the guy was, foobarred the project.
I know that, but by the way.
What are you looking at me for?
You're not wearing that on the golf course, I can tell you that.
Who said I was?
I don't know, but you're not wearing that.
This is my casual TV attire. I have a bag over there. Dominiqu's going to lay out my clothes for me.
All right.
And I'm going to put on my shorts with the cargo pants pocket because that's how I roll.
You're not wearing your freaking capris today, are you?
Oh, that's right. That's right. That's right. Am I playing anywhere near your foursome today?
No.
Like if you're on 1, I'm on 9.
No.
10 or something like that?
We will not cross paths.
Is Outback Steakhouse here?
Yes. They're always here. They're always at an Esiason event. You know that.
I know. I just want to make sure they'll be here.
They'll be here. Don't worry about it. Yes.
And I do love the fact that you're wearing your Wounded Warrior Project shirt today.
Absolutely. I'm going to take these American flags that we have on our on the flag poles.
Let's auction those bad boys off.
I'm going to auction them off. I'm not going to auction them off for us though. For CF, we'll do great here today. We're going to do it for the Wounded Warrior Project.
Well, I'll buy one.
All right,
I'm
good.
in.
All right, good.
Whatever hole I birdie, all right, that's the flag that I will buy. If you donate all that money to Wounded Warrior.
We're definitely going to do that.
All right.
Yep.
How much are we talking? A decent amount, right?
I got to figure it out. I got to talk to some people, and then
you're
some
gonna
people got to get back to me.
My flag more than everyone else's? Is that what you're doing?
I'm going to frame it up and make it nice, and it's going to be the day that Bin Laden died.
Got it. Here's Danny and Holbrook on the fan. Danny, good morning. How you doing today, buddy?
Hey, what's up, guys?
Danny, what's happening?
Hey, I used to be a UPS driver, and I know you can relate to this. The town of Plandome.
Yep.
And, man, I mean, I was a fixture there for a little while, and I grew fond of all the people in that neighborhood, and it was really hard hit. But, today I hope, I'm not there anymore. I've since moved up. But I hope those people are, I hope the sun is shining a little bit on that town today because they could use it.
Hey, Danny, just out of curiosity, how did you find out last night, or was it this morning?
Check this out. I found out last night after going to the Yankee game with my 2 sons and my daughter, having a great day. I had to go to work last night, and I got up about 11 o'clock. And 11:15, my son came down and went to the kitchen. I said, "What are you doing up?" I kind of yelled at him a little bit because he got to get up at 6 in the morning. And he said, "Did you hear the news?" And I said, "No." And right away, I thought it was a sports, news thing, maybe the Knicks or something. But he said, "We got Bin Laden." And not for nothing, guys, he was 7 years old, I believe, when that happened. And, this guy's been a tyrant in the youth of America for so many years. The images of him, with the AK-47 and all that. And the relief of the look on his face was, I can't even describe it.
Dan, it's interesting you say that because, I found out my 8-year-old called me from the Met game. He wasn't born when it happened. And then you take kids like your son, and I'll look at Boomer's kids who were in elementary school when it happened.
Yeah,
and that generation's got a whole different, I would think, take on it because, we were adults when it happened. They were kids. For me as a kid, I had, the Reagan assassination attempt was a very big deal for us in elementary school. And then in junior high school, the shuttle disaster were probably the 2 biggest top of my head, national near tragedies and tragedy that I lived through, right? Yeah. But for Gunnar and Sydney, this was the biggest thing they had.
They got taken out of class, much like every other kid around this area did. And he talks about Plandome. You could also think about Garden City and Rockville Center, a number of places in Long Island. And I remember driving past the Manhasset train station the next day, the 3 nights after the whole thing. So it was like the 14th of September, and all the cars were still in the train station. It was a very ominous sight. I wasn't with Gunnar last night. He was out, but he sent me a text message. One word: victory.
There you go.
I cried when I got it.
I bet you did.
I did.
Boomer and Carton on the fan. We're broadcasting live from the 18th annual Boomer Esiason Foundation Golf Tournament, fighting cystic fibrosis. And, of course, on this great day, which we help aid in the fight against CF, we get the great news late last night that Bin Laden is dead. And, of course, today is a day where we all go back 10 years and remember where we were and who we lost. And we'll certainly welcome your phone calls in that regard and how you found out last night. And if there's anything you want to share with us all, any memory you just feel like getting off your chest or being emotional with us, we're with you all day long. Till 10 o'clock. Number to hang, 877-337-6666. Toll free, made possible by Mohegan Sun.
And by the way, if you are playing in my golf tournament today, get your butts here because we're going to tee off at 10:05. No messing around. Don't be late.
I'll need an extra 5 minutes.
I do not want to hear, we got caught in traffic. Get here. Let's go. Let's get it over with.
By the way, the LIE at 4 in the morning, what
perfect.
a wonderful road.
Oh, it's great. It works.
I got to tell you, you people bitch about the LIE. It's great.
Not at 4 in the morning, we don't.
Me?
Unless they have construction going on.
Oh, no. I made it from Tribeca out to Long Island, right?
Yep.
9 minutes. Fantastic. That's the greatest road I've ever driven on.
All right, Adorama, more than a camera store. The secret's out. The boys over there at Adorama not only been a top global camera retailer for over 30 years, but they also
And he flew a flag out in our yard till the day that he died. He wanted my mother, my brother, my sister, and me to grow up and live happy in the land of the free. Now this nation that I love is falling under attack. A mighty sucker punch came flying in from somewhere in the back. Soon as we could see clearly through our big black eye, man, we lit up your world like the 4th of July. Hey, Uncle Sam, put your name at the top of his list.
Boomer and Carton on the fan. Write it down. Monday, May 2nd, you wake up and you find out that we got Osama Bin Laden. You actually got him yesterday, May 1st. And changes everything today. Whether you're thought you're gonna wake up today bitching about the Mets getting losing 2 out of 3 to the Phillies. Whether you're gonna complain about the New York Jets draft picks being guys that may spend more time in jail than on the football field. Whatever it's gonna be today, it's all different. Excuse me, it's all different because we got Osama Bin Laden, and the majority of New Yorkers that happen to be Met fans or watching the game last night found out watching ESPN as the Mets and Phillies were playing, or maybe you had the fan on driving around town listening to the game, and late in the game before they went to extra innings, you find out that Osama Bin Laden is dead. We got him. Our Navy SEALs were dropped in by helicopters through this gated community, and they tried to use a woman as a human shield. As the story now goes, there's a lot of back and forth. Put down your guns, put down your guns. They said no. We opened fire, a big firefight. No Americans hurt or killed, thank God. And we got him. We got Osama Bin Laden. And that's a very special day.
All right. Already this morning, as people are starting to show up here at our golf tournament, Craig, some of the people just seeing them, that just like you see somebody and you know what you've been through over 10 years ago with them.
Sure.
It immediately becomes a hug, and there's like a real sense of pride this morning.
Yeah, it's emotional. You could cry all day today, and both good and then, of course, remembering the bad. But it's a very, very special day. And we're broadcasting live from Boomer's golf tournament, the 18th annual golf tournament out in Long Island, as we certainly fight against cystic fibrosis. And today takes on a different meaning because a lot of the people that will be here today, like the majority, if not all of you people listening to us today, personally affected by what happened 10 years ago. Here's Carlos in Afghanistan with the Army. Carlos, good morning. How you doing, buddy?
Hello from Afghanistan. How are you guys doing over there?
Hey, Carlos. How are you, buddy?
Hey, listen, I got to tell you guys something. You guys bring a slice of New York over here to me. I listen to you guys every day when I'm not on a mission. Monday through Friday, I listen to you guys, and it's kind of nice hearing all the stuff about New York because you kind of miss everything back from the States being over here.
Are you allowed to tell us where you are, Carlos?
Yeah, I am. I'm at a fob called Salerno. But the easiest, like my parents always ask me where I am, I always tell them, I say, look at the map of Afghanistan, and if you find Kabul, go towards Jabal, and we're right in between those two cities.
Hey, just out of curiosity, for being in the Army in Afghanistan, how and when did you guys find out that our Navy SEALs got Bin Laden?
We started hearing about this close to about 4:35 in the morning here. it started circulating. Believe it or not, it started circulating through Facebook.
Is
That's
that
when
right?
Most of us started hearing about it. Yeah.
Isn't that amazing?
And then,
Here's the guy in the army in Afghanistan, right? We have nothing but love and respect for you, and these guys are finding out via Twitter and Facebook. They're amazing to me, you know.
Yeah, it was. It was pretty wild because, usually the first thing I do, I'll turn on Facebook, see how the family's doing and stuff.
Sure.
And all of a sudden, I'm seeing all these messages, hey, we appreciate you over there, and, we got him. I'm like, what's going on? And then all of a sudden, I scroll down further, and there it is. It says, they're reporting that they got Bin Laden. And then when we went to the chow hall here, then they had it all up on Armed Forces Network News. They were talking about it.
And, Carlos, where are you from?
I'm from Queens. Believe it or not, I'm only about 20 minutes from, the old Shea Stadium, now the City Field. So I'm about 20 minutes from there in Jamaica.
Well, Carlos, we appreciate you calling from Afghanistan, and say hi to all the guys and gals out there with the red, white, and blue on their sleeve, and we appreciate it. Get home safely, all right, buddy?
I appreciate it. You guys keep up the good work, and I really enjoy your show.
There you go. That's Carlos calling literally from Afghanistan right now. It's unreal to me, right?
Oh, boy.
Al can't call me from Basking Ridge to Carteret some days.
Right.
And he just called from Afghanistan.
That's pretty cool.
So you love that. Here's Greg in South Brunswick, who I believe is all of 11 years old when the buildings went down. Greg, good morning. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, I'm doing pretty well. Good morning, fellas. How are you?
All right, Greg, what's happening today?
Nothing really. Boomer, I got your signature on my wall, man. Big Jets fan. But
thank you.
Anyways, no problem. As Craig just mentioned, I was 11 years old, and I have to tell you, there's nothing scarier than being blindsided, just being brought into your school gym in 6th grade, not knowing what's going on, just being told that something bad happened in New York. I didn't find out until I got home. My parents started telling me, slowly but surely what happened. So there I was last night, now 21, watching the Mets game, and like most of us New Yorkers found out, found out Bin Laden's been killed by watching the game, and it's just it brings me back to those days when I was 11. It's just like a big sense of relief to finally be able to put at least a chapter of this.
Greg, I'm glad you called. Now, I was talking to Boomer about it off the air. We were already jaded by life as adults, with the wives and families and responsibilities, and the Shangri-La was long since gone for both of us, for me and Boom, and for a lot of people listening. And that's why I asked Boomer about how his kids reacted to it. And a kid your age, who's the same age as Boom's kids, you're 21. I lived in New York at the time where I was working at 56th and 7th. I lived at 86th and Broadway. I had one kid. I remember my wife went to the top of our building on 86th and Broadway with my 1-year-old, Mickey J., and saw smoke coming up, etc. But my kids have no knowledge of it other than reading about it or me talking about it. But for a generation of kids that grew up with it, that's why I wonder how kids react to it today. We're down in their young 20s.
No, and thanks for bringing that up, Craig. But I will say this. I remember having those conversations with Gunnar and Sydney, and it was real life, and talking to them about how there are people that are in their lives that just lost their fathers,
right?
And they still remain very close to those kids today. And I'm very, very happy to report at least the kids that we know have come through all of this with flying colors. Most of them are all in college now, and I'm sure that today or last night when they heard this and they wake up today, I'm sure that there are a varying of mixed emotions that they are dealing with.
Right. Jerry Rello's here. Jerry, good morning. How you doing, buddy?
Morning, guys. Brought to you by Pepsi Max. New look, same great taste. Pepsi Max, 0 calories, maximum Pepsi taste. And the Mets beating the Phillies 2-1 in 14. Ronnie Paulino, go-ahead RBI double. But the story of the night, the death of Osama Bin Laden, and word breaking during the game with Howie Rose on the Fan.
It's amazing how things seem so important for the moment, like they did when Ryan Howard batted with the bases loaded. And then if it's true that Osama bin Laden has been captured, killed, or whatever, it just takes you back to that awful, awful day. And you wonder why you get so upset or worked up over a baseball game in the first place.
As we've come to learn, it is true. Yep, that's Howie. Now for the reaction inside the clubhouse. Manager Terry Collins says, too bad we had to finish a baseball game.
Wish we could have finished the game 2 hours ago and celebrated a little bit of it.
Yep, David Wright, who played a wonderful game, says the chants of USA from the Philadelphia crowd really great.
You got 45, 50,000 people, chanting. That was pretty special.
Starting pitcher Chris Young, who threw a terrific game, settling for a no decision.
Certainly a historic night and a great victory for the United States.
And on the Phillies,
hey, Jerry, I know you don't have it right now. It's at your fingertips. Guys in the studio, if you can find, if we have any raw audio from the WFAN broadcast, our own broadcast of the Met game, I imagine at some point you could hear the USA chants in the background. See if you guys can just find that for me. I'll play it raw just to hear how it came through on the radio last night during the late innings of that game, before extra innings, when the crowd was all chanting. I'd like to hear that.
Yep. Here's from the Phillies' perspective. Here's Ryan Howard.
It's kind of an uplifting moment. I mean, to hope that the war over there can finally kind of come to an end.
And here's starting pitcher Cliff Lee.
Sitting in the dugout, I didn't really understand what was going on there for a minute, and then someone came in there and said that, obviously Bin Laden had been killed over there.
Yeah, it's really, it's awesome. Because, Mets, Phillies, no one's talking about the game. I thought Howie Rose said it perfectly. 8 minutes ago, we were worried about Ryan Howard batting with the bases loaded, and now who cares?
Yep.
Very much so. Very well captured.
And the Mets can enjoy the win and the moment today. They have a scheduled day off to win, snapping a 3-game slide. So while the U.S. was searching for Osama Bin Laden, the radio team of Sterling and Waldman also had a successful search and find rescue.
I wonder where Deion James is. He was a very nice man.
Nice. A buddy.
You guys
He's
were good friends.
Living in Sacramento, doing very well.
Did you just compare Susan and John searching for Deion James?
Jerry, but Jerry, you know what I want to do? I want to say thank you for making me laugh. I want to say thank you for making me laugh this morning.
There you go. Well, it's good to know we know where Deion James is.
Can you imagine if John and Susan had to break the news? John, goodness gracious, we've got Osama Bin Laden.
Susan, what they signed him? Is he going to be batting for Jorge Posadas? The DH is batting 190, by the way.
All right.
Not even his one for his last 27.
No, John, Osama Bin Laden. We got him. He's dead.
Well, Yankees meantime.
He was hiding in George Steinbrenner's box.
Oh, that's baseball, Susan.
Yankees beat the Blue Jays 5-2.
Yes. Osama Bin Laden dead. Yes, a shot to the head.
Yes!
Curtis Granderson, a 3-run homer, 7th of the season for Mark Teixeira, who also goes deep. Ivan Nova, the win. Mariano Rivera has 10 saved. Tonight, the Yankees are in Detroit, where John and Susan will search for Eminem. NBA playoffs, Eastern Conference semifinals. Heat beat the Celtics 99-90. Dwayne Wade had 38. LeBron James adding 22. So Miami up 1-0 in the West. The Grizzlies all over the Thunder in Oklahoma City, 114-101. And in the NHL, the Lightning stopped the Capitals in overtime, 3-2 goal from Vinny LeCavalier wins it. Tampa up 2-0, and the Sharks go up 2-0, winning in Detroit again 2-1.
I'm a little disappointed that we didn't get all your characters, going through the whole. Well, where's the Mad Dog?
I have a bit of a sore throat today. How would he have done it? Good afternoon, everybody. He batted 247 in the Afghanistan League back in 87. But I got to tell you, Michael, they finally got They finally got the bad guy. They got just a terrific
True
morning.
story?
True story. Terrific. I don't know how they got him, but I got him.
There we go. Okay.
There you go.
That's good.
Very nice. All right.
What about
we're all
Harry
good
Carey?
here? See, now, what was jukebox?
Yeah, you're a jukebox. Let's go.
I don't know. I was going to say, there was one time I saw there was Fidel Castro was playing short.
Fidel Castro.
He tried to double play with a guy with long beard named Bin Laden. I had a Budweiser that day, and I said, this Bin Laden guy's no good.
That's right.
Castro could turn two, though, with the best of them. You know those zealots.
Anyway,
all right, there we go. Yeah, we're good.
And if I may, thank you, Jerry Rello.
All right.
I don't know if I'm swinging a turn here, but if you can show me to your left.
So this is.
Go ahead. What have we got here?
If you win the tournament today.
If you win it?
Yeah, this is first prize.
First place, if you win the tournament.
Yeah.
We have a framed American flag with the invitation card for Boomers. It's actually 19th annual.
Yeah,
my
it's
bad.
19th. Yeah, I thought it was 18th. It's
There you
19th.
go.
Been around for a long
19th
time.
annual Boomer Esiason Foundation Golf Invitational. Of course, fighting cystic fibrosis. And the winner gets this. And there's going to be there's 17 other flags, of course, for the 8.
Actually, 26 other flags. Just
I
we have a
apologize.
27-hole golf course.
26 flags, and those at the end of the golf tournament.
Yeah.
We'll auction those
off for the Wounded Warriors. Yeah.
I get one. I mean, I'll buy it, of course.
Yeah,
No. But I'm picking the one I want based on what hole I birdie. Now, if I birdie multiple holes, I'll have to get more than one, Boomer.
Why do you always sound whiny?
What do you mean? That's
like a little whiny.
Our
thing
engineer made me sound whiny there. That's an engineering problem.
No.
They finally got auto-tune. They made me sound like a whiny little brat. You know? What?
Go ahead.
No, say what you want to say.
No, I was just going to say.
I'm in a good mood. We got Bin Laden.
You don't need an auto-tune to sound whiny. You sound a little whiny right
Tell me
there.
I'm ugly. Tell me I don't satisfy women, whatever it is. It doesn't matter what you say about me today. Today is a great day in my life.
Yes, it is.
You understand? Not a good day. Okay? A great day in my life.
Okay.
Again, as a child growing up, now you, of course, as a kid growing up, you had the Kennedy assassination.
No.
But I had the attempt on Reagan.
Right.
I had the shuttle disaster.
I do remember the Kennedy assassination.
That's my point. All right? Why are you being such a bad guy, Al?
No, I wasn't there for the Abe Lincoln assassination, Al.
Hey, Al, this goes what about Lincoln? That must have been a bitch.
Yeah, you guys are so funny.
We got Sirhan, so things are good. Okay. But the point is this, that for kids growing up, and when they grew up, your kids, that generation of kids, this is a terrible moment that they all share together. Kids my generation, and to an extent, had the shuttle and, of course, had the attempt on Reagan's life.
Right.
And this is a great, again, I don't believe in closure. I think it's an overused phrase, because if you lost someone, you never get over that. But it's a great moment, not a good one. And it took place late last night. Now, here's the raw audio. I've wanted to hear this all day, because I was not listening to the game. I was watching it. This is on WFAN. Howie and Wayne doing the play-by-play in color. Let it play out a little bit, guys, all right? And then I'll get out of it as Boomer and I see fit. And then I promise we'll get back to your calls. If you want to just share memories of 10 years ago, how happy you are today, when you found out last night, we want to be here and share all those memories with you. But here's how it came across the radio last night, right here with Howie and Wayne on WFAN.
Now the pitch, and it's line foul into the seats down the third base line. 1 ball, 1 strike. And I'll tell you what's going on. The crowd is chanting USA. And the reason for that is that there are reports circulating. I am not sure if they've yet been confirmed by the White House that Osama Bin Laden is dead. How that's happened, we don't know. But this crowd now knows it. The 1-1, a fastball on the outside
Terrific
corner
job by Howie, by the way.
for a called strike 2. 1 ball and 2 strikes. This is becoming an almost surreal evening when you consider, well, simply from the baseball perspective, a very intriguing game, and now a globally huge story beginning to break, and the crowd here at the ballpark getting wind of it. Of course, in this day, with the Blackberries and everything else, doesn't take news very long to travel at all. Here's the 1-2 to Murphy. Change up low, 2 balls and 2 strikes. If we get you any further details, we'll let you know. That is the report that started circulating within the last couple of moments, really, and this crowd got wind of it almost immediately. And that's what that USA chant was about.
There you go. Nice job, guys. Thanks for getting it. Great job by Howie.
It was a great job by Howie, because I think as broadcasters, we always wonder, and I know you were on the air 9/11, but you always wonder how you would react under such circumstances. And, because we're a sports show, and because you and I like to have a lot of fun in the morning, and we like to laugh, we like to, kind of entertain our listeners in a different way. You have to roll it back. And I think Howie was very careful last night of saying the right things. He had the right tone. And he was trying to, put it in the context of him being a sports reporter while a game is going on, when maybe one of the biggest stories in the last 10 years globally is hitting the wire, but yet he still doesn't have confirmation.
He did a great job, and hopefully we're doing what we should be doing today as well. And do me a favor, Al, if you can. See if we can't get one of our sister stations, CBS News, if they have someone down at Ground Zero covering just what's going on there. I would do a live hit with a CBS reporter, down there, just to get an idea from someone who's actually on the scene. If you want to set that up, we'll do that as well. If we can, if we can't, I understood as well. Here's Billy in North Jersey on the Fan. Billy, good morning. How you doing, kiddo?
Hey, Boomer. Hey, Carton. How you doing?
Billy, what's happening, brother?
I'm calling because I am happy we got the guy, but I'm actually calling to give you guys and your listeners a heads up, stay vigilant kind of message.
Well, that's exactly what
Thank
we've
you,
been
Billy.
talking about this morning, Billy. There's no question about it. It's always about staying vigilant, and I think the American government set out all the right tone in terms of warnings and cautions and everything else. And I'm sure, Police Commissioner Ray Kelly is on it. They're going to have extra security at a lot of different places, and I'm sure that's going to be paramount to everything else that's going on. That will be job one by the people that are securing all these very I guess attractive targets, if you want to put it that way.
Tommy's in Staten Island on the Fan. Tommy, you're on Boomer and Carton live. Good morning. How are you?
Hello.
Hello. What's happening, Tommy?
What's up, guys? Congratulations. What a great day to be an American, right?
Absolutely.
I'm a New York City fireman, and actually it was my first day on 9/11. I got out of the academy September 7th, and I was indoctrinated to this great job under horrible circumstances, and you don't know what it feels like to actually be driving to the firehouse right now in a world that he's dead.
Yeah, I imagine when you get to the firehouse today, it's going to be a lot different than every other day you go there, yeah?
I can't wait. I can't wait. I have no idea what it's going to be like. It's going to be a great day. If I can say out there, this is to the memory of the 14 guys that were killed in my firehouse, the 2 officers and 12 men that, we'll never get back. But I don't want to say celebration. Celebration is the wrong word, but I want to say satisfaction to the
vindication.
families.
How about vindication?
Vindication is a very good word, but, to the memory of the 14 guys we lost, I was assigned to Lower Manhattan back 10 years ago. It's a good day. It's a good day.
It is, and you know what, Tommy? I appreciate that call. I can't imagine what it's like being that your first day. I really think Chris Young, who said it right, and Chris Young, who had a great game last night, has an apartment on the Upper West Side, and he said after the game, and I'll read the quote because it stuck in my head when I first read it this morning. It was the first thing that popped into my head, Young said. I don't know if thrilled is the right word, but just thinking of those 9 people, and let me just stop there. The firehouse that services the Upper West Side where he lives, I don't know exactly what department it is, lost 9 fighters. Thinking of those 9 people and everybody that lost their lives on September 11th, and certainly the city of New York, I wouldn't say they have a lot to celebrate, but I think it's uplifting to know that we're winning the war. It's probably a night I'll never forget. I came inside and heard the news. There's some things in life that are bigger than the game, and certainly to hear the crowd, I was inside and I could hear the crowd chanting USA. I got chills hearing that. It was pretty neat. And I think that sums it all up. Good job by
Without
Chris
question,
Young.
yep.
Boomer and Carton on the Fan, live from Boomer's 19th annual charity golf tournament. Your calls throughout the day, of course, 877-337-6666. Toll free, made possible by Mohegan Sun. Where were you when you found out last night? You want to share any memories of relatives or friends or people you lost, or just your own story from 10 years ago as you found out then and you found out.
You're ready for the summertime, NY, after the winter we just had. I know you are, so am I. Summertime, NYC, come on 212. You know how we do. Rules barbecue, kids out of school. Flip-flop, hip-hop, party on the rooftop. Yeah, all of that. Everybody say summer. Come on, Brooklyn, say summer. U2, Long Island, Connecticut, Jersey, yeah, that's it. MSG Summer Block Party. New shows, big concerts, great movies, Red Bulls, and more. Begins this June.
Boy, you make me feel like, oh boy, you make me feel like no boy can make me feel like you. I really, really want.
There's more to life than a Volvo. There's the freedom to change your mind and to change it back again. Introducing the new 2011 C70, exceptionally well equipped at $39,950. There's more to life than a Volvo. That's why you drive one. The Volvo Sign and Drive. Lease the 2011 Volvo C70 for $499 a month and pay nothing at signing.
A young man with ambition met an old man at the top. Asked him if he had a secret, and the old man stopped and thought and said, free cause that's how it ought to be, my brother. Credit cause you need a loan for one thing or another. Score cause they break it down to one simple number that you can use. Time to take a break cause the name is kinda long. Come in honor of the internet that it's on. Put it all together at the end of the song. It gives you freecreditscore.com.
Offer applies with enrollment in freecreditscore.com.
Maybe you want to replant a forest. Maybe you want to rebuild homes for those in need. Or maybe you want to help improve our schools. Whatever you want to do, Members Project from American Express can help you take the first step. Vote, volunteer, or donate for the causes you believe in at membersproject.com. Take charge of making a difference.
You get hit while making a left. You're at fault. But what if you were set up? It's called the drive-down scam. One guy waves you on, then blocks your way, while his accomplice finishes the job. Scams like this can add hundreds to your insurance bill. That's why Allstate has a dedicated fraud team. Fighting fraud helps keep your insurance affordable. That's Allstate stand. Are you in good hands?
In Albuquerque, Citi pre-approved my mortgage.
All right, Lambs, guys, let's go.
In Sioux Falls, I locked in a rate.
Coach, you get that house yet? Working on it.
The appraisal? Springfield. Wherever I was, my Citi mortgage consultant had me covered. And 500 miles from home, we finally had a new home.
From pre-approval to closing, Citi is with you every step of the way. What's your story? Citi can help you write it.
When you have the 2011 International Car of the Year, the Hyundai Sonata, getting a best-in-class 35 miles per gallon with best-in-class horsepower, starting at less than $20,000, you don't need to have an event. It's more than an event. It's a movement. Hyundai.
Join the movement today with a surprising $199 lease or 0.9% APR on the 2011 Sonata, but only at your local Hyundai dealer.
What's going on over there?
Oh, it's just my monthly mugging from my cell phone company.
Mugging?
Yeah, brutally expensive.
Looks like you need T-Mobile's truly unlimited plan. For just $79.99, you can use Facebook, browse the web, and talk and text as much as you want. What now?
Sent too many emails.
Switch to T-Mobile's truly unlimited data, talk, and text for just $79.99 and save over $350 a year, only on America's largest 4G network.
T-Mobile.
When the weather outside is dreadful, the damage to your vehicle's floors can be frightful. Because even if you have those ordinary mats, all kinds of permanent stains find their way off those mats and onto your floors anyway. Unless you have WeatherTech floor liners. WeatherTech liners are laser measured to custom fit and perfectly protect your specific make and model. Front, back, even up the sides. So all of life's little permanent reminders go into the liner and stay in the liner until you wash them away. You can find your WeatherTech floor liners at WeatherTech.com. Just enter your vehicle make and model, select the liner and color, and say goodbye to all those little resale robbing reminders. Questions? Give us a call at 1-800-CARMATS. Don't wait until it's too late. Order your WeatherTech protection today at WeatherTech.com. WeatherTech floor liners. Complete protection, completely American made at WeatherTech.com.
It's time for the Polaris XP sales event. Sportsman XP, Ranger XP, Ranger Razor XP. 3 extreme machines, 1 extreme event. Get up to $1,000 in rebates and financing as low as 3.99% on select models from the world's best power sports lineup. Deals this extreme won't last long. Get to your local participating Polaris dealer right now for up to $1,000 in rebates and financing as low as 3.99%. Only during the Polaris XP sales event. At Polaris, we believe in extremes. We make the hardest working, smoothest riding ATVs and utility vehicles, and the only family of razor-sharp sports side-by-sides. Our XP sales event is just as extreme. Up to $1,000 in rebates and financing as low as 3.99%. Available now at your local participating Polaris dealer.
westbound between Troy Road and Baldwin Road. Right lane is closed for an ongoing cleanup. They had a down pole, they had wires, and they got to get that whole mess out of there. 80 westbound, the ramp to 27A in Roxbury, that's been reopened. Eastbound, you saw pockets of traffic from Mount Arlington on up to 287. And in Central Jersey, 109 northbound at East Lincoln Avenue, accident cleared, all lanes reopened. 30 at the George, 45 now at the Lincoln, 40 at the Holland. The WFAN forecast, we're going to have some clouds, a break or two of sun, maybe a passing shower, 67 degrees. 52 right now. I'm Tracy Burgess with the R&L Carriers Fan Highway Patrol.
You're listening to Boomer Esiason and Craig Carton.
All right, Boomer and Carton on the Fan.
From the sky.
Live from the 19th annual Boomer Esiason Foundation Golf Tournament, fighting cystic fibrosis. And, of course, even a more special tournament today as we find out that at some point in the last 24 hours, our Navy SEALs did what we've been waiting 10 years to have happen. 2 different administrations and years and years of tears and everything else. But Osama Bin Laden is now finally dead. And most of us found out, at least here in New York, by watching the Met Philly game last night. And depending on how you found out, it's irrelevant at this point. But we got the guy. Now, in a few moments, we will talk live with Steve Knight. Steve is a reporter for our sister radio station, CBS 880. And I specifically want to get one of their guys on down at Ground Zero, because obviously the crowds that will build throughout the day today, I imagine the lunchtime crowd there, assuming the weather is as nice as what Tracy says it's going to be today, is going to be huge, and I imagine it's just going to grow and grow. Al and I drove past it literally at 4 this morning, and there were a lot of people out there already holding American flags and pictures of lost relatives and loved ones.
It's kind of like, it's not like what we as Americans do, I guess, in certainly like you watch some of these other places around the world where millions of people show up and they're bitching and complaining about something. But today's a day that, it wouldn't surprise me if you saw thousands upon thousands of people converging on Ground Zero with American flags.
There's no doubt about it.
I would think that you're going to see that. The other thing, too, Craig, is that, while we killed bin Laden, we wake up this morning and we're certainly satisfied by that. It brings into question, maybe even another question, is like, what is the relations between Pakistan and the United States? If he's running around over there, right, and they knew he was running around over there, I mean, how do we not get him before yesterday?
I'm going to leave that question to someone much brighter than me. It's a legitimate question. I don't know. If the guy's hanging out there without a large military, backup, they said there weren't like 50 guys with machine guns standing outside his house. He was just hanging out there in like broad daylight.
I'm just wondering.
So they had to know. They didn't just find out he was there.
He's dead, but you got to wonder about his relevance in the world of terror anyway. If he's there and he's just hanging out with some people,
I guess,
and there's nobody around him. I mean, how relevant is he in that world right now?
Well, to us, he was.
And,
he was the guy.
The whole symbolism of it all makes a lot of sense, and only the people, within the CIA and the FBI and all those other people in the higher ends of government truly understand exactly how much weight he still carried.
All right, we will, throughout the day, in case you're just tuning in, we'll play the audio from the Met game last night here on The Fan, where Howie Rose first hears the USA chants. We'll let you get that. We'll play everything for you, sound from all the athletes in last night's game, Phillies and Mets as well. And we want to take your calls throughout the morning. Steve's in Suffern on The Fan. Stevie, good morning. How you doing, buddy?
Good morning, guys. How you guys
Good morning.
Hey, Steve, what's happening?
It's a great day today. And, to be honest with you, I knew it would come one day, but, it's just great that it happened. It took a long time. And, you had a firefighter on earlier today. And, a lot of those guys, they went into those buildings, and I guarantee a lot of them knew they weren't going to come out. They sacrificed their lives for us. I thank all the troops, and it's a really great feeling today. And, I just wanted to say thanks to Ronald Reagan, our great president. I know, just celebrated his 100th birthday. Somewhere he's up in the sky smiling down on all of us, and it's a very proud, emotional day to be an American today. Thanks a lot, guys.
Yeah, you're welcome, Steve. The amazing thing is every single one of our callers who have called in this morning, while they're all saying the right things and they all feel a great sense of pride, there's nobody like cheering. It's not like a led by with a cheerleading. Too many people died. There's too much sadness that's associated with today. And I think Steve caught it right there. And the other thing too is I was very fortunate to be a part of the Army-Navy football broadcast for 7 or 8 years with CBS, and it was one of the things, Craig, and you know this, that I love doing that more than anything, because meeting those kids, and every single one of those kids that I spoke to on both of those teams for that amount of time were all kids that went to the respective academies after 9/11, knowing that when they finished at school that they were going to be deployed somewhere around the world within Afghanistan or Iraq or somewhere else, knowing that they wanted to make a difference because of what happened on 9/11. Almost every single one of them were there. So firefighters, policemen, EMTs, PAPD guys, everybody who rushed to that site on that fateful day, and then all the construction people after that, and then on top of that, all the people that went into the military. These are selfless individuals that you really lead by their heart more than their head, and I have to tell you, I'm very proud to be a part of them and know them.
Garrett and Freehold was at the game. We'll get to him in a moment, plus Billy and Chad and all your calls as Bin Laden is dead, and we wake up this morning happy and sad at the same time, but thrilled that we finally got the face of evil who changed all of our lives for the worse 10 years ago. So we'll get into that with you and how you found out and anything else you got. It's Boomer and Carton on the Fan, live from Boomer's 19th annual golf tournament out on Long Island. 877-337-6666.
Boomer and Carton is brought to you in part by Citibank. What's your story? Citi can help you write it.
You're driving along. A car pulls in front of you. Another pulls alongside. And when the guy up front stops short, you rear end him, just like he wanted. It's called a swoop and squat. And fraud like this can add hundreds of dollars a year to your insurance bills. It's why Allstate has a dedicated fraud team to track down criminals. Fighting fraud helps keep your insurance affordable. That's Allstate, Stan. Are you in good hands?
Your lawn is a living, breathing thing. It depends on you.
It needs food.
You have to feed your lawn.
That's a must. I use Scott's Turf Builder.
It makes the roots really strong.
The stronger the roots, the stronger and healthier your lawn's gonna be.
Hearing the roots like, I need food, I need nutrition.
Do I think feeding makes a difference? Look at my lawn.
This is healthy. It looks good, right?
It's strong. Look at this.
Feeding makes all the difference in the world.
It's a no-brainer.
Scott's Turf Builder. Feeding pays.
It is the best thing you could do for your lawn.
In Albuquerque, Citi pre-approved my mortgage.
Our lives, guys. Let's go.
In Sioux Falls, I locked in a rate.
Coach, you get that house yet? Working on it.
The appraisal? Springfield. Wherever I was, my Citi mortgage consultant had me covered.
I mean, for a little bit, you kind of think, okay, am I not going to get picked tonight? But I know that it was nothing that I can control, and I'm just glad that I landed here in New York City. I've heard of the guys like Deshaun Jackson and Joey Macklin and Des Bryant, all great wide receivers. So that's a war week in, week out, and I'm sure once one of the veterans just take me under their wing and I just keep learning and grinding, I'll be prepared to guard them.
The sounds of spring. It's a symphony best appreciated at full blast. The moment you've been waiting for has arrived. Spring's best event from Cadillac. But like the beauty of spring, it won't last long. Visit your Tri-State Cadillac dealer or CadillacTristate.com for this exceptional offer.
Technology you've never seen before, anywhere, ever. Which raises a good point. If you're going to buy a new luxury car, shouldn't there be something new about it?
Visit your local Lincoln dealer for this exceptional lease offer, plus 4 years complimentary maintenance on Lincoln MKX.
It's not just luxury, it's smarter than that.
Is that who I think it is?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Are you staging a comeback? Because it feels like you're staging a comeback.
I feel better than ever. Stronger in my legs, my core, my back.
Comeback!
Yes! Got your shape-ups. Get back in the game.
Throughout the playoffs, it's Hockey Night Live.
Most important time of the year.
Hockey is at the forefront.
The intensity builds up.
That's a great hit. We're trying to watch 6 games at once. We're all hockey junkies.
We've been there. We've seen it. We kind of sense and feel.
He should be prepared to show that one twice. He's going to need some time.
Sometimes we'll agree. Sometimes we'll disagree.
I'm being serious.
It's not that big of a deal. And laughing is encouraging. Essentially, there are no rules here. It's a story of great expectation, and we're going to follow it every step of the way. This is Hockey Night Live.
Boy, you make me feel like, oh boy, you make me feel like no boy can make me feel like you. I really, really want.
There's more to life than a Volvo. There's the freedom to change your mind and to change it back again. Introducing the new 2011 C70, exceptionally well equipped at $39,950. There's more to life than a Volvo. That's why you drive one. The Volvo Sign and Drive. Lease the 2011 Volvo C70 for $499 a month and pay nothing at signing.
Only CBS. It's Boomer Esiason and Craig Carton.
All right, Boomer and Carton broadcasting live from the 19th annual Boomer Esiason Foundation Golf Tournament. Guys are milling in now eating breakfast. No reason to take out your club. Say, boys, I'm already going to win the tournament. So if you're going out there, you're all playing for second place. Just put out there. I am getting 37 strokes today, so I'm looking for a low net. That's my goal. Let's get to Tracy Burgess. She has more details on the news late last night about us getting Osama Bin Laden. And then we'll get back to your calls. We'll hook up with our...
Traffic and weather is brought to you by Chevrolet. See your local Chevy dealer or visit ChevyOffers.com.
Shower. Nothing really big time to worry about. 67 degrees at a high, 52 right now. And as word came that wanted terrorist number 1, Osama Bin Laden, had been taken out by American forces at a luxury compound in Pakistan, spontaneous eruptions in Times Square, near Ground Zero and at the White House. Queens Congressman Gary Ackerman knows it is a historic day.
It's the mission accomplished moment that President Bush only fantasized. This is real. This is one of the biggest deals in the last 100 years.
Well, I don't think he meant any disrespect by that, Boom. I think, merely he's saying that this is a big deal. The president did announce the news last night at the White House here in New York. This firefighter who survived the attack at the Trade Center was emotional about the news.
I'm proud to be an American tonight. I'm proud of our men and women in the service. I'm proud of the special operation.
Pakistani TV airing footage of the fire that erupted at the compound.
Okay.
It's not in American. It's in Arabic, so you can't really understand what they're saying, but it looks like it was a crazy firefight. One of the sons was killed, and there's word that Osama bin Laden used a human shield, a woman put in front of him, and they just, had to take her out, too. There are reports now the entire United States is facing a broad terror threat, so they're beefing up security at the airports, all around the city, in Washington. Curiously, two of the men synonymous with evil and hate declared dead on May 1st, both Hitler and Osama bin Laden.
Is that right?
Yeah. Huh. And a big oops here. MSNBC correspondent Norah O'Donnell tweeted that the president had been killed.
Oh, Jesus.
I know. And she was using the Pentagon correspondent as a backup source. So Jim Miklashevsky has a lot of, gravitas, so they thought it was real, but apparently it was a typo.
A B instead of an S.
Yes, big time. So proof, you gotta, before you tweet it, you got to prove it.
Idiots. All right. Thank you very much, Tracy Burgess. Appreciate that. 877-337-6666. Boomer and Carton on the Fan. So where were you? How'd you find out last night? And, of course, any memories you want to share of 10 years ago that you feel the emotions kind of brewing up, by all means, we want to take those calls as we have already all morning long. And I'd like to think this radio station will serve us a great platform all day long for exactly what we're doing. Sports is irrelevant today. As much as we all live and die with every Met pitch and Yankee pitch, and we're worried about the NFL lockout and everything else going on in the world of sports, the reality today, despite the fact that we're a sports station, is that, yes, we found out during the Met-Philly game, which is the obvious connection here, considering what happened 10 years ago and how sports was intimately involved in how we got over and try to get over what happened. The reality is that sports is irrelevant today. The Mets win, big deal. Mets loss, big deal. Yankees, big deal. Joining us now live from the Ground Zero site from our sister station, CBS 880 AM, is Steve Knight. Steve, it's Boomer Esiason and Craig Carton. We're out of Long Island today, Steve. Can you give us an idea of what is happening right now at the Ground Zero site?
Right now at the Ground Zero site, it looks pretty much like any Monday morning with the people rushing to and fro getting into work. There is, I don't know how many television satellite trucks parked just off the northeast corner of Ground Zero with the cameras set up. And there are, at this point, I would say maybe 100 people who are gathered in front of the cameras so they can wave and cheer and that sort of thing. So the crowd has diminished considerably from overnight. I got down here a little after 3 o'clock this morning. The first people started arriving here right after the news came out that Bin Laden had been killed. And by about 3 in the morning, by 3:30 in the morning, there were several hundred people here. It was a massive, jubilant party in the streets. It looked a whole lot like when the Yankees won the World Series. The crowd, though, diminished considerably after that, and by about 4:30 in the morning or so, it was down to several dozen people, about a dozen of whom were sitting around a circle of candles in the street, and they weren't chanting and cheering and, you know, giving high fives and that sort of thing, but they were very quietly contemplating what this death means to the fight against terrorism and what might happen next. And several of them said they were quite concerned that Osama Bin Laden would be viewed as a martyr and it might actually increase terrorism.
Steve Knight joins us down from Ground Zero. Al Dukes, our producer, and I were out there at about 4:15 this morning, and it looked like there were a lot of people there. So I guess those people first heard the news, came out, probably then how to get themselves ready for work. Is there any talk amongst the locals in that part of New York or anyone that you've bumped into that there's any type of, whether it be organized or not, get together maybe after the workday today down there? What are your expectations for that?
This is, obviously, it's Ground Zero. I mean, this is the place where people will come to celebrate and to mark this event. I don't know that anything organized at this point. I would imagine that there will be, you know, pretty much spontaneous gatherings throughout the workday. And I would also probably guess that at about noontime, when people have a bit of a break, especially some of the construction workers who are, you know, on the job now, might come out. There might be some sort of additional event of some sort, but I think it'll be spontaneous.
Steve, we appreciate it. If anything else happens, by all means, give us a shot, and thank you for the time this morning, buddy.
Good talking to you.
All right, Steve Knight, CBS 880. So there's a little taste of what's going down there. So the crowd is thinned out. Everyone's got to go to work. But I think
gotta
he's
believe
right.
around lunchtime,
and,
yeah. You got to believe, yeah.
And I'll guarantee you, about 6 o'clock tonight, there will be some kind of candlelit vigil. There will be hundreds and hundreds of people out there tonight.
Because you got to believe that every radio station's talking about it. Every television station's carrying something on it. And I'm sure that there are reactions coming in from all around the world. And then, of course, the family members themselves, I'm sure they're giving their recollections and what this means to them. So I would not be surprised to see something around lunchtime or maybe even around dinner time.
All right, now Garrett's in Freehold. Garrett was at the game, as was my 8-year-old son yesterday, which is how I found out. I got a call late last night. Daddy, they're chanting USA. Bin Laden's dead. And he only knows about Bin Laden, having read about it. Me and my wife, you know, telling the kids about it, because my daughter was alive at the time. So that's how I found out. Boomer was watching the game. Garrett was at the game. Garrett, what was it like being at that game last night, buddy?
Oh, Craig, it was awesome. About the 4th or 5th inning, everybody starts cheering USA. My buddy and I are the only 2 Mets fans in our section. We have no idea what's going on. And he gets a text from his girlfriend saying Osama's dead. And we just start going along with all the Phillies fans, which normally Mets fans wouldn't do.
Yeah, that's the thing that, like I said 5 minutes ago, where sports is irrelevant today, is that here you have these 2 hated rivals, 2 cities that really detest one another, and all of a sudden as news is filtering out, and it's a great game, you know, Philly fans, we're sure we're killing Met fans. Hey, we're going to go sweep you, the whole bit, right? And we're trying to hold on to our dignity as Met fans and respect. And then all of a sudden, you have 50-some-odd thousand people, you know, probably 1,000 Met fans and the rest Phillies fans. And it was like, as you said earlier, dogs and cats, Hatfields, McCoys, everybody getting along with one common bond. It was pretty cool.
It definitely was.
All right, yeah, thanks. Appreciate it. I'll play this a lot this morning with Boomer. But give me Harry Rose, boys, back in the studio. This is You'll hear it start off with the USA chant in the crowd. And if you didn't have the fan on last night, this is how many of you who did have it on found out about what took place with Osama Bin Laden. And this is just raw audio from our broadcast last night. Play it.
Now the pitch, and it's line foul into the seats down the third base line. 1 ball, 1 strike. And I'll tell you what's going on. The crowd is chanting USA. And the reason for that is that there are reports circulating. I am not sure if they've yet been confirmed by the White House that Osama Bin Laden is dead. How that's happened, we don't know. But this crowd now knows it. The 1-1, a fastball on the outside corner for a called strike 2. 1 ball and 2 strikes. This is becoming an almost surreal evening when you consider, well, simply from the baseball perspective, a very intriguing game, and now a globally huge story beginning to break, and the crowd here at the ballpark getting wind of it. Of course, in this day, with the blackberries and everything else, doesn't take news very long to travel at all. Here's the 1-2 to Murphy. Change up low, 2 balls and 2 strikes. If we get you any further details, we'll let you know.
I mean, it's amazing when you think about what Howie's doing right here.
Yep.
Because, you know, he's got to do a baseball game. He's got to give you what's going on because it's radio, so he's got to paint that picture. Then he's got to go into political talk, and he's got to make sure that what he is saying is accurate. And he has to make sure that, you know, people realize that, it's not confirmed, at least from his eyes.
Right.
At that point. And he did a fabulous, fabulous job.
Yeah, he's one of the best, and that's why. Here's Kevin in Connecticut on the fan. Kevin, good morning. How you doing today, buddy?
Hello.
Hello. What's happening, Kev?
Guys, first time, long time. Thanks for taking the call.
All right.
I'm actually a firefighter in Connecticut. I actually went down to Ground Zero when it actually happened with a couple of my fellow firefighters. We were actually there. It's an awesome day to be an American today. I'd just like to say I think all the schools should, do the national anthem today. They should rally against this. I know a lot of the schools won't do that and stuff anymore, but it's just a great day to be an American.
Well, I would like to think that in some way, shape, or form, every school will have at least a teacher or 2 or 3 or 4 that will break protocol today, and at least just let. And I'm not saying kids who are 7, but kids who may remember it, want to talk about it. It's a good moment for that. If it happens, it does. If it doesn't, if you're a parent, it's your job to do it anyway. But it would be nice if there's some talk about it in the schools, maybe even an assembly, whatever you want to do. But again, I'll take care of that with my kids in my house.
Right, I think it would be a hard.
Thanks, Kevin.
I guess it has to be age appropriate too.
Right, you're not going to go to kindergarten and say, "Hey, guess what, kids? Oh, put your blocks down. Bin Laden's dead."
Well, we shot him in the head.
One pop. Now, incarcerated Bob was twittering. He's probably right about this. That these Navy SEALs teams, they have cameras embedded in their gear.
Right, so somebody's got a shot of this.
There's probably video that, whether or not ever gets released, that our government now has of the firefight and, of course, the shot that killed him, right?
Let's give it to Al Jazeera. Let them show it.
Let's get that bad boy up on the web.
Let's get it going, baby.
Right? Wouldn't you watch that a million times over?
I would watch it a million times over, and I can only say that someday across our travels that we are lucky enough to come across the Navy SEAL that delivered that bullet.
Well, it's interesting. I would guarantee you that guy has no interest in anyone knowing who he is, but at the same time, I'll guarantee you that we will make him, as a country, known and put him right up on the pedestal he belongs on.
Well, they all do. Not just the one who delivered the bullet, but anybody who was on those Black Hawk helicopters that went down and did this.
Right.
Think about that for a second. Okay, guys, we're going. And you're in
and you know the mission.
And you know the mission. And the mission you don't know what's in there.
Right.
You don't know what you're getting yourself into. And it's a small group of guys, just like you would see on in a movie or something like that.
Not just that, Boom. This may be your only chance to get him. Because if you miss there, the guy goes into hiding.
I just want to know. I want to know why. He's able to run around free and easy over there in Pakistan. Why they haven't told us before
Boomer and
this.
Carton on the fan. The front page of the Daily News has it right. Rot in hell. The front page of the New York Post today. Bin Laden dead. And you remember where you were when you heard this news, for sure. There's not a lot of dates outside of family dates that you remember. But you remember. Unless you're Al Dukes, who's twittering all weekend, do 12-year-old girls ever stop talking? Will Al Dukes remember where he was when he found out? Where were you, by the way, Al?
I got up this morning. It was a friend of mine emailed me. But all he
Al
wrote was,
used
all he wrote was God Bless America. I didn't know what that meant. And then I put on my news and watched the scroll on the bottom. And I was all over it.
You ready for the summertime? NY after the winter we just had. I know you are, so am I. Summertime, NYC, come on 212. You know how we do. Pools, barbecue, kids out of school. Flip-flop, hip-hop, party on the rooftop. Yeah, all of that. Everybody say summer. Come on, Brooklyn, say summer. U2, Long Island, Connecticut, Jersey, yeah, that's it. MSG Summer Block Party. New shows, big concerts, great movies, Red Bulls, and more. Begins this June.
Maybe you want school kids to have more exposure to the arts. Maybe you want to provide meals for the needy. Or maybe you want to help when the unexpected happens. Whatever you want to do, Members Project from American Express can help you take the first step. Vote, volunteer, or donate for the causes you believe in at membersproject.com. Take charge of making a difference.
Hey, would you mind if I asked Sheila out?
Of course not. We broke up 6 months ago. But I don't think she'd go for a guy like...
She said she'd love to. She can't wait to see me. Really? She's wanted me to ask her out for over a year now. She just sent me a video.
Hi, Steven. Oh, can I see that?
Yeah.
Can't wait for a date.
In the network, sparks fly faster. AT&T is getting faster with 4G. Rethink possible.
When Ford swaps your ride, you tend to talk about it. A lot. You've had the Escape for a week.
I was a Honda guy for a long time. The Escape actually has great gas mileage. I need something fuel efficient. It's very important. I'm an adrenaline junkie. I keep a ton of stuff in my car.
You have the park assist in that, right?
You take your hands off the wheel.
That is crazy. How's that work on your Honda?
What Honda?
Now, current competitive lessees can get a 2011 Escape for just $189 a month for 24 months.
I think we need to try it a little longer, about a year.
What's going on? The 2011 Tucson is an IIHS top safety pick. And it gets best-in-class highway and combined gas mileage. Better than the RAV4 and CR-V. And better is what most people want. That's what's going on. It's more than an event. It's a movement. Hyundai.
Join the movement today with the $259 lease or 1.9% APR on the 2011 Tucson. But only at your local Hyundai dealer.
Locked and loaded for it. Ba-bam, ba-bam. A great day to be an American. I want to hear Ray Charles again this morning, boys. Make sure you have that locked and loaded for us. Al's kind of sweet on one of the waitresses here, so we'll find out what her story is. All right. The one over there, the blonde over there.
Oh, really?
Nice. Good eye, Al. Way to work that. Way to work your radio magic.
Al, stay away from the waitresses, please.
Craig, could you ask her for a muffin for me? Because that's how I'll start the conversation.
All right, I'm the brains behind the operation.
Hello, I'm the brains and the voice behind Boomer and Carton.
Al Hughes.
They tell me we have a special guest coming up in a few minutes. I have no idea who it is. Oh, he's on the phone right now? Have we talked to the special guest before? We've been on the air 4 years. It's a New Yorker. He's never been on before? All right. Joining us on the hotline now, it says, is John Leguizamo. Johnny, it's Boomer and Carton. What's up, man? How
Johnny,
you doing
what's
today?
going on, brother?
Same old, celebrating the Bin Laden thing. Finally, after all these years, crazy, huh?
Listen, it's awesome. And I said sports became irrelevant last night when late in the game you find out why the Philadelphia fans chanting USA, and then you find out, and it's just one of those great moments in my lifetime.
Yeah, you never thought it was going to happen. And then they disposed of the body so fast. It was crazy. But I think they got DNA from the sister here in Boston, right?
Something.
And they got DNA from Bin Laden so they could test it, too.
Yeah, the weird thing is that why follow Islamic law, right? I don't know why they had to do that. I guess maybe that was a deal they made with Pakistan. Who knows? What do I know?
Yeah, because they got him in Pakistani territory. That's why.
I guess. Now, were you in New York when it happened 10 years ago, Johnny? Were you doing that?
I wasn't. I was on vacation in Michigan.
Vacation in Michigan?
Yeah.
Who goes to Michigan for vacation?
It's up in the north end of Michigan. It's up in like Traverse City, I'm sure, or something like that, right, John?
That fancy, it's like the Hamptons of up there, you know. It's like it looks like a beach.
There's no Hamptons in Michigan.
Yes, there is.
What, were you filming a movie or something?
No, it is. No, man, it's like really fancy, waspy. I mean, while I was there, it makes no sense, but probably lower property values.
I should mention that Johnny's throwing out the first pitch at Citi Field this Wednesday at 7:10 as the Mets host the world champion Giants. You can get Mets tickets at 718-507-TIXX or go to Mets.com/Ghetto Clown with a K, code Leguizamo.
Well, that's his new play on Broadway.
Yeah, by the way,
that's not my moniker. That's the name of the show.
I was going to say, I mean, hey, nice to meet you, Ghetto Clown. How are you?
What's up, player?
Now, is this a one-man show like the last one, Johnny, or no?
Yeah. This is about my career. You know, this is the one I talk about, you know, the ups and downs and the fights with Steven Seagal and Pacino teaching me my best lessons and, you know, all the craziness that happens on the set.
You got in a fight with Steven Seagal?
Well, I didn't get to a fight. He knocked me against the wall, knocked all the air out of me.
And what was the impetus for that?
Well, there was no. We were doing a movie called Executive Decision, which is pretty good.
Yeah.
And I'm playing his sergeant, and you know he's the captain, and out of nowhere we're rehearsing. He says, you know, I'm in command. What I say is law. Anybody disagree? Like that's how he came in and introduced himself, and I started laughing. I was like, you know, I thought he was kidding. Who talks like that, right? So I was just laughing, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, he Aikidos me against the brick wall, knocks all the air out of me. I'm like, why, man? But I really want to say is how big and fat he is, and I ran like a girl, but I couldn't.
Listen, there are moments.
He runs like a girl, but he hits like a 6'5" dude.
That's the problem. Well, John,
that's the problem.
And are you in New York now or no?
Yeah, I'm at home.
Yeah, because I
can't go nowhere. I'm in the house arrest, basically.
I'm gonna swing by the show, and you're gonna have to explain to me backstage how you vacation in Michigan. I ain't buying it. Maybe there's a hot broad there or something. I get that, but you in Michigan don't make sense.
It's his wife.
Whatever, dude.
You've never heard of Traverse City. You've never heard of Northern Michigan.
No, I never have. Because when I vacation, it's called Jamaica.
Johnny, what do they call that up there? What's that region called?
I don't know what it's called. I've never been back.
Well, there you go.
All right, John, good talking to you, buddy.
Mario Batali, the famous chef, he summers up there in that fancy, super fancy, blue blood place.
It's
That's
a
all I
very
need to
fancy
hear.
place, I'm telling you.
Listen, it's John Leguizamo. Check him out at GhettoClown.com with a K, and he'll be throwing out the first pitch for the Mets Wednesday. Johnny, bigger stuff right now I got to get to, but we appreciate you calling in, and thanks for a few moments. There you go.
I'm a big fan.
Thank you, Johnny. Good luck.
Johnny
Good luck with the
Leguizamo.
show. Yeah.
New Yorker, of course. Not in New York when it happened, but of course here now as we find that we got Bin Laden. Jerry Rello's here. Jerry, what do you got, buddy?
Well, guys, Howard Cosell was on the air when John Lennon was shot last night. Howie Rose was on the air for a historic moment as the U.S. got to Osama Bin Laden.
This is as unique an experience as I've ever had as a broadcaster, because you get so wrapped up in these games emotionally, and it's easy for your mind to lose focus when a major event like this is unfolding.
Now, why are you looking at me like that?
I was asking out, do we have the Cosell sound?
And Boomer's laughing at
Because if you're referencing how it was another national event.
It's a historic moment.
So do we have Howard Cosell with Lennon?
I don't know about that.
Like, if you're going to compare the two, you should have
But
everyone
everybody
ready to
knows
go.
that. You've heard it.
Why? Boomer's son's not 20 years old. He never heard the Cosell thing. He wasn't alive. So I'm
Right.
saying let's compare them. You have another national sporting event. It was Monday Night Football when Howard Cosell gets to report that John Lennon had died, right?
Yep.
And here we have Howie Rose last night. I'm sure ESPN, their crew on TV, did it as well. And I just thought maybe you want to compare the two.
I would love to.
But you don't have it.
No.
Now, the Cosell thing was interesting because there was an ABC reporter or producer that was actually in Jamaica Hospital, Jamaica, Queens, all right? And while he's in the hospital, as the story goes, or maybe a sign, I was in a New York hospital, obviously, right? I guess it wasn't Jamaica, Queens. It must have been Manhattan. And he's sitting there in the ER, whatever issue he had.
And Lennon was brought in,
they
right?
bring Lennon in, and the guy's like, what's going on? They go, it's John Lennon. He was shot. And he phoned into ABC New York, and then that guy, whoever the producer there was, that producer then phoned into the broadcast booth, and that's how Cosell found out. And if you don't remember, back December 8th of 1980, here's how the world found out that John Lennon had been shot.
John Smith is on the line, and I don't care what's on the line, Howard. You have got to
Yes, we have to say it. Remember, this is just a football game, no matter who wins or loses. An unspeakable tragedy confirmed to us by ABC News in New York City. John Lennon, outside of his apartment building on the west side of New York City, the most famous perhaps of all of the Beatles, shot twice in the back, rushed to Roosevelt Hospital, dead on arrival. Hard to go back to the game after that news flash, which in duty bound we have to take. Frank?
And wasn't there a lot of hesitation, too?
Well, they weren't sure to go with it or not, I guess, because of how they got it. And they got it from, this new ABC producer who happened to have been in the hospital.
At Roosevelt Hospital.
Yeah, so there you go.
So last night when the news spread at Citizens Bank Park, there were chants in the crowd in Philly. This is starting pitcher Chris Young who took it in.
I was inside and could hear the crowd chanting USA, and I got chills here.
Yep, manager Terry Collins putting the night in perspective.
That's certainly something bigger to celebrate than this, I can tell you that.
Yep, Collins also says just days ago we were with wounded troops and they were playing the Nationals.
Right. I'm real proud of our troops, and especially after this trip where we went to Walter Reed. I know those guys are cheering tonight.
David.
Yeah, and don't forget, didn't Sandy Alderson's dad, wasn't he a veteran as well? I know he passed away, got hit by a car 6 months ago, but he had obviously a connection. I think Sandy Alderson is a veteran as well.
A Marine, I think.
A Marine.
Yep.
So they all went to Walter Reed, and this year they went without a hitch. Remember last year a couple guys didn't go. It was a big to-do.
That was not going to be the case this year.
No, it was not. So
here's David Wright, who says must be a great day for those who have given so much to this cause.
Great as a moment was for me being on a baseball field. You multiply that by a million, and that's probably what they're feeling.
Yep. By the way, the Mets did beat the Phillies last night, 2-1-14. Not that it certainly takes a second back seat for sure. Ronnie Paulino, the go-ahead RBI double, had 5 hits on the night. Taylor Buchholz the win. And Young was really good. He threw 7 solid innings. Meantime, big game for the Yankees.
Jeter fields, throws to first, in time. Ball game over. Yankees win. The Yankees win.
Beat the Blue Jays 5-2. John Sterling, WCBS.
Well, it's funny when you take Sterling out of context, it's really terrible.
Yeah.
Like when you play a highlight like that on the heels of what we're talking about today. It just makes John look like a clown.
Very much. Robbie Cano, a hand injury. He's day-to-day. Tonight the Yankees are in Detroit. Andre Ethier of the Dodgers now has a 27-game hitting streak.
I should have picked him every single day in my hit streak thing on ESPN.
Yes, you should have.
Why don't you tell me to take Andre Ethier?
You
Good
can
job
pick
on
the
that,
same
Bose.
guy.
You can pay anybody you want.
Anybody you want.
I could have a 26-game history right now, but no.
Well, you should be up to about
Boomer
15.
said take Daniel Murphy. No.
I didn't say that.
Oh, so it's over.
No, I don't know where it's at.
But you can restart anytime you want, obviously.
My record going into the weekend was 5. I honestly don't know if I'm alive.
How hard is it? It sounds easy. It sounds like you should be able to do it.
Yes, I agree.
And it's one of the reasons why, what is it, $5.6 million at the end of the rainbow, if you can figure it out.
That's right,
and get
Boomer.
it done.
You know why it's $5.6 million, right?
Yeah, I do.
Why?
Because it was a 56-game hitting streak.
That's right. So they took the 5 and 6 and they
put a point in between it.
Bang.
There you go. Done.
NBA playoffs, Eastern Conference semifinals. Heat over the Celtics, 99-90. Dwayne Wade, 38. LeBron James, 22. Paul Pierce ejected in this game. Didn't like the way the officiating was going, something his head coach, Doc Rivers, agreed with.
Thought both were flagrants. They were not called. And instead of walking away like you have to, we reacted.
And that's Pierce who got ejected. There was one specifically on Dwayne Wade who just clobbered a guy. Western Conference semifinals, Grizzlies over the Thunder in game 1, 114-101. Ex-Knick Zach Randolph had 34, if you can believe it. NHL playoffs, the Lightning defeat the Capitals in overtime 3-2. Vinny Cavalier, the game-winning goal. The Sharks over the Red Wings 2-1. San Jose and Tampa up 2 games to none in their respective series.
All right, joining us on the hotline now is Howard Lutnick, who's a dear friend of Boomer's, has been a great supporter of Boomer's Foundation and a personal friend. I've gotten to know him over the 4 years as well, and I consider him a friend now. And, of course, he, as the face and head of Cantor Fitzgerald, lost, not to minimize anyone else's loss at all, but lost over 600 friends and employees, including his brother and best friend, during the attacks. And he became really one of the faces of the tragedy in the days and months afterwards. And Boomer and I, every 9/11 now, as close to 9/11 as we can get if it lands on a weekend, do our show from BGC Partners, which is the new firm. And Howard Lutnick joins us on the hotline right now. Howard, A, thanks for joining us, and B, I imagine, for the far majority of us, an emotional day on both sides of the fence. A, the joy of knowing that Bin Laden's dead, but B, having to go back and remember what happened 10 years ago. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's exactly right. I was just when I heard that he at first I was told that he died, and I was afraid. Oh, I hope this guy didn't die of cancer, because then it'll sort of feel like he got away with it. But at least we got him, and we got him the right way, and. So it feels good that the guy didn't get away with it. But of course, now it's going to be like a 9/11 day. I mean, listening to you guys talk about it, I mean, it's a 9/11 day, so it sort of comes upon us. It sort of brings back all those thoughts.
And Howard, when did you find out that Osama Bin Laden was killed?
Well, I was just watching TV, and they sort of broke in with the president's going to give an announcement, and then I got right after they said the president's going to give an announcement, my phone rang like 50 times with all my friends in the military, and because they had all gotten the go ahead to take a call, so I got like 50 calls in a row from everybody telling me that he was killed and how he got killed, and they've been watching the guy. Gitmo, you think of Guantanamo Bay? I mean, that's how they found him. They found him. A guy gave a courier's name in Gitmo.
It's unbelievable when you think about it. And I know how I feel this morning. I know that I was relieved last night. I knew that I was very proud to be an American. But there's also another tinge of just sadness that is associated with this because of all the open wounds that we all still have.
Absolutely. I mean, look, you think of parents, lost a kid. I mean, nothing's ever going to make that better. And for all of us who have children, you know that perfectly. So, but, look, he didn't get away with it. He had to look over his shoulder for 10 years. It's amazing he got 10 years out of it, but he looked over his shoulders for 10 years, and we finally got him. And, everyone knows that sooner or later you get justice, and he went down the way criminals should go down and fight, who don't get arrested. He went down the old-fashioned way. He got shot.
Howard Ludnick joins us. Obviously, this changes the scope of your day. Just out of curiosity, will you be doing anything today? Are you going down to the site? You doing anything out of the ordinary today, Howard?
Well, today I committed to help my friend Boomer Esiason has a fundraiser today, and so my plan was to spend the day with him raising money for cystic fibrosis, which I plan to do, and that's where I'm headed out to help. And then after that, I'm going to come down and I'm going to have I've arranged to have drinks with about 15 families just to be together, because this day just springs upon them. I'm going to spend some time with my sister. It becomes a 9/11 day, and so we want to just get together and support each other and just make sure everyone's okay.
All right, well, we'll see you later this afternoon, and thanks for the time, kiddo. Appreciate it.
Okay. Good to see you.
Take care, Howard.
Howard Ludnick, of course, Caniford Show, now BGC Partners. And so there's one of the great single charity days in the world for BGC Partners.
And he does, and they select charities all across the globe. And one of the most important things that they do is they support the Wounded Warrior Project. It's something that we'll do here today as well.
It's Boomer and Carton on the Fan. We want to get back to your calls. 877-337-6666. Toll-free made possible by Mohegan Sun. Anything you have on your mind regarding the news that Bin Laden is dead, how it affects you, impacts you, how you found out last night, watching the Mets-Phillies game or doing something else, and then you want to bring it up, we're certainly here for you today and sharing those memories with you all the way to 10 o'clock. And I am sure for the rest of the day on this radio station, there'll be a lot more of that. As for a rare day, the sports happenings absolutely take a back seat. We can get back to it tomorrow.
Boomer and Carton is brought to you in part by WeatherTech. Don't wait until it's too late. For complete protection of your vehicle's interior, shop WeatherTech.com.
They're moms, dads, veterans, coaches. They're part of your community.
VC Street in between Broadway and Church Street, that's closed due to police activity, and the right lane is blocked West 42nd to 9th Avenue and 8th Avenue with EMS activity. There's always something exciting going on in the LIE crowd.
They have an MMA event out there.
At least they're not shooting each other. It's like men.
It's like a fist fight
I respect
out
it.
there.
You want to get out? Listen,
man up. Don't,
Yeah,
Totally going at it.
Listen, you're going to cut each other off. I get that, but it's better to settle it on the side of the road than with the cars in the middle.
I agree. By the way,
I'm
I
with
started
you on
taking
that.
boxing lessons again.
Oh, my God.
That's right.
The WFAN forecast for Boomer's event here today. We're going to have some clouds, a break or two of sun, maybe a passing shower, but not going to get in the way of your golf game. 67 degrees. 53 right now. I'm Tracy Burgess with the R&L Carriers Fan Highway Patrol.
You're listening to Boomer Esiason and Craig Carton.
Boomer and Carton on the Fan on a very special day in America and a very, very special day here in New York. Osama Bin Laden is dead, and in some weird case of irony, we find out during a sporting event involving the New York Mets. As the Mets were playing the Phillies last night, and Howie Rose had to bring it to you for a New York audience. Maybe you watched it on ESPN last night with Bobby Valentine doing the game, with Oral Hershiser.
And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free.
And today we happen to be broadcasting, lowered a little bit, Eddie, from the Boomer Esiason Foundation Golf Tournament. And as you put 180 people together anywhere in the tri-state area, and no one will be more affected as the men that'll be in this room.
I'm just telling you right now, I've seen a bunch of my buddies here already this morning, and everybody is, like I said, they're guarded. They're guarded with the enthusiasm, knowing that our brave men and women went in, took care of business, delivered a single bullet to the head to take out our number one enemy, and but yet they all know that there's still a lot of work yet to be done, and that we're still not totally safe. We'll never be totally safe.
Here's Chris in Homedale on the Fan. Good morning, Chris. How are you today, buddy?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good, guys.
All right, Chrissy, what's going on, brother?
That's done it actually golf outing in honor of my uncle we lost in 9/11. Worked at Cantor Fitzgerald.
Right.
So we just got seen off in a few minutes. Just wanted to share a little story about him. Kind of comes full circle. Heard about last night on watching the Mets game, and first Mets game I ever went to was my uncle. So we pull up, and the type of guy he was, pull up, couldn't find a parking spot. He brought myself and my brother, and pull up, and there was one guy picking up two spots. He got my brother out, said, get my bumper race to this guy's, and floors it, makes another spot for himself, gets after a standing ovation. That's just the kind of guy he was, and anywhere he went, you could always, count on him doing something like that.
Chris, who was your uncle? What's his name?
Chris Allingham.
Okay.
Well, I appreciate your call today, Chris. Thank you, buddy.
Thank you very much.
Chris in Homedale, and that's really what today's all about. You're right. I thought Howard Luding said it well in a weird way. This is like an anniversary of 9/11 because we're all have the same feelings, except this time there's a little positive to go along with it because you got the face of evil, but then it's a memory, again, a smack right in the face of why we're happy that the guy's dead because of what he and his people did to, friends and family of everyone listening to the show. That's the problem with it. Here's Kevin in the Bronx on the Fan. Good morning, Kevin. How are you, buddy?
I'm really good, guys. I want to thank you, first of all, for you guys focusing on this and understanding the enormity of what this is all about. I really thank you guys. Also, I want to thank our president, Obama, for having the forethought to really go after him where he was at, and they got him on his watch and approving this mission. It's interesting. They said they knew they had a feeling where he was in August, and this is a sort of like a typical of him, how he takes his time and is pretty measured. But when he went after him because they knew he was there. And so I'm thanking God that I'm American. I'm thanking our president for, and I'm really thankful that we have a president, Obama, no matter where he was born, that he took this decision. And thank you guys so much.
Yep.
All right, Kevin. I'll say this though: it's got to be. It's not an easy thing for a president to say, "Go and do this." And to make sure that they got him, they had to make sure where he was, and they also had to make sure that the Pakistani government, I would imagine,
we had to be allowed in.
Okay.
Right.
I mean, so listen, no matter who our president was at this time, regardless of the political leanings one way or the other, the fact of the matter is that we're all Americans today.
It doesn't matter. The political part of this is not relevant to anyone. It shouldn't be relevant to anyone. He did make it very clear, abundantly clear, that he ordered it. He made it happen. That's fine. And listen, he's the president. That's his job. And thank God it worked. Thank God they sent the right team in there. Those guys, I can't imagine the poise those guys had to have because if what we've seen from movies and everything else and these SEALs that do come public about things, these guys are told, listen, you're going to get Osama Bin Laden. This is it.
And there have been hundreds, I don't know hundreds, but maybe 100 or so of these moments where they thought that they might have had him. But the fact of the matter is that not only is he the president of the United States, he has another title, and that's called Commander-in-Chief.
Right.
And that something of this magnitude is not going to be allowed to go on unless they run it by his desk and he says, all right, go.
I want to play it for you, Eddie. Give me the open of the show today. If you haven't heard it yet, because this was last night. And listen, we all respect your families and other stuff going on. You may not even have the TV on when this took place. You may not have had a chance even yet to go to the internet and play it for yourselves. But this is how a majority of Americans found out last night when the president called a special news conference and said the following to the American public.
Tonight, I can report to the American people and to the world that the United States has conducted an operation that killed Osama Bin Laden, the leader of al-Qaeda, and a terrorist who's responsible for the murder of thousands of innocent men, women, and children. Today, at my direction, the United States launched a targeted operation against that compound in Abbottabad, Pakistan. A small team of Americans carried out the operation with extraordinary courage and capability. No Americans were harmed. They took care to avoid civilian casualties. After a firefight, they killed Osama bin Laden and took custody of his body. The American people did not choose this fight. It came to our shores and started with the senseless slaughter of our citizens. As a country, we will never tolerate our security being threatened, nor stand idly by when our people have been killed. We will be relentless in defense of our citizens and our friends and allies. We will be true to the values that make us who we are. And on nights like this one, we can say to those families who have lost loved ones to al-Qaeda's terror, justice has been done. Tonight, we are once again reminded that America can do whatever we set our mind to. That is the story of our history. Whether it's the pursuit of prosperity for our people or the struggle for equality for all our citizens, our commitment to stand up for our values abroad, and our sacrifices to make the world a safer place. Let us remember that we can do these things not just because of wealth or power, but because of who we are. One nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. May God bless you. And may God bless the United States of America.
And I want to say one more thing. In the spirit of the Irish people, Osama Bin Laden, you can kiss my royal Irish ass. And I live in Rockaway, and this is my face, bitch.
That, of course, is from the concert for New York at the Garden after 9/11. And that's what it's all about today during the Met-Philly game last night. But the sports aspect is relevant. We'll get to the Jet draft tomorrow and everything else. And I will tell you now, tomorrow morning, live in studio, unadulterated, unedited, and uncut, live in studio tomorrow morning, Rex Ryan, the head coach of the New York Jets.
We got to expect to win.
That's
and
right.
I think that's the biggest thing that we talk about as far as the culture of the team, that we got to expect to win. And, you know, like I'm sick of that, you know, same old Jets thing, because it's not the same old Jets.
We will go over it with Rexy tomorrow live in studio, baby.
That's going to be interesting.
That's right.
Now, isn't it going to be on Letterman tonight?
I don't know. Yes.
Yes.
Al says yes.
No, that'd be good.
More importantly, he's on with Boomer and Carton live. What time tomorrow morning? 7:30 tomorrow morning. The one-on-one everyone's been waiting for.
Make sure you have breakfast, Al.
I will have breakfast.
All
for
right.
everyone.
Mother's Day is this Sunday, and the best gift from Mom is a gift of relaxation from Pajamagram.com. They have a great selection of pajamas.
Throughout the playoffs, it's Hockey Night Live.
Most important time of the year. Hockey.
Tech.com.
News Radio 66, WFAN, WFAN HD, and WXRK HD3, New York.
Boomer and Carton on the Fan.
Oh, beautiful, our heroes proved in liberating strife.
10 after 9 as we broadcast live from the Boomer Esiason Foundation 19th Annual Golf Tournament out here in Long Island on May 2nd, hours after we find out, literally less than 24 hours after we find out, that Osama Bin Laden is dead. And a great day for all of us, New Yorkers, Americans, etc., etc. And the fact that the Mets were in Philly, a hated rival, and their fans did the right thing. We've gotten calls from all over the globe today, literally, saying what a special day today is. And hopefully whatever small part we can be a part of getting you into it and helping you express yourself, we're happy to do it and wouldn't do this show any other way today. And we just bumped into, it's okay to say, right?
Yeah, sure, absolutely.
So Lisa, who was married to Boomer's best friend who passed away on 9/11, and she said what?
Well, Lisa's here. She always volunteers for this golf tournament. She's been involved with our foundation since the beginning because Timmy was our initial board member. So
Right.
She's always been here, and this is what she said this morning. She said, it is a great day, but it also brings back a flood of emotions, and that she has a hard time keeping those emotions in check, and we can totally understand that, and that there's been a lot of crying over the last, 20 hours or so, and tears of joy, but also tears of sadness because it opens old wounds again.
Sure, for
so
sure.
I would imagine that Lisa is a perfect example of what all of the families who've had loved ones perish because of this are feeling today.
100% right. So let's go to Jerry and then Tracy, and then we'll get back to your phone calls as we take it all the way to 10 o'clock here on WFAN New York. Go ahead, Jerry.
And word coming down in the ninth inning last night, really, of the Mets-Phillies game. The Mets beat the Phils 2-1 in 14 as Howie Rose told the fans what exactly was going on. Makes the game kind of meaningless, but Ronnie Paulino did have 5 hits, including the go-ahead RBI double. Yankees beat the Blue Jays 5-2.
And let me stop you
Yanks
there
in
also. I'm
Detroit
sorry,
tonight.
Jerry. There's also, you start thinking about the things that happened, and I got a couple Twitters on this. Mike Piazza, catcher, the big home run over Atlanta, right?
Right.
Paulino, catcher.
Yeah.
5 hits.
Go-ahead hit.
There's so many parallels to the day you find out that he's dead, sadly, as we started trying to get over it, 10 years ago.
Yep, very much so. The Dodgers lost, but Andre Ethier with a 27-game hitting streak. NBA playoffs, Heat beat the Celtics, Grizzlies over the Thunder. Both
Traffic and weather is brought to you by the Jeep brand, now celebrating 70 years of legendary heritage.
Auto Train instead. Let Amtrak drive you and your car plus your kids ride for just $19 when you travel by June 5th. Visit Amtrak.com/Auto Train for details. Garden State northbound before the Cheesequake service area. Accident blocks at Center Lane. Still the fist fight out on the LIE at Bagatelle Road. They're still battling.
They're still fighting round 3.
It's round 3 right now. Bagatelle Road and the LIE going.
You would have loved this. There was a huge MMA fight over the weekend.
Yeah.
And they brought back everyone's favorite fighter. Who was it, Al Dukes? Come on. Come on. He didn't start fighting until his late 30s, Al.
Ken Shamrock.
Oh, tell him who it is, Jerry.
Randy Couture.
Randy Couture. Who's he fighting against, Jerry?
That I don't know.
Ken Shamrock.
No. So, it's Randy Couture's retirement fight. He's done after this fight, right?
Right.
And the dude he's fighting again, whose name escapes me right now, does the Ralph Macchio crane kick, front kicks him in the jaw, knocks out his tooth, and drops him and ends his career out cold.
Terrible way to go down.
Oh, that's
Holy
terrible.
moly.
And now they're fighting on Bagatelle Road in the LIE.
That's right.
The WFAN forecast for today. We're going to have some clouds, maybe a break or two of sun. That passing shower holds off until much later today. 67 will be the high, 53 right now.
Very nice. As we broadcast live from the Boomer Esiason Foundation Golf Tournament, I've decided I'm walking 18 today so that Dominique can sit in my cart and enjoy the round of golf, watching a true golfer play golf.
And here's the other
That's what
thing,
I've
too.
decided
Al was telling me off air that CBS News has not confirmed that Pakistan actually gave us permission to go do this. that we might have found this out by ourselves, and President Obama might just have said, "Hey, you know what? We're going to go get the guy, and we're going to go get him now, regardless of what anybody else
we
says."
know where he is right now.
And if that's the case,
we're not waiting.
If that's the case, I take my hat off to the president, because that takes stones.
So
to do
you're
that.
saying that there's a chance we knew where he was. Our intelligence said he's right here in this house right now. And rather than wait through all the red tape of politics and governments, blah, 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 he goes, you know what? We know where he is right now. Go get him. That'd be pretty cool if he did that. It's cool either way, but if he did it that way, it's even nicer.
But if you ask the Pakistani government for some sort of permission, then what happens? Then they go running over to tell them, guess what's coming?
Either that could happen, or they slow play you into not getting it done.
I don't know, but I'm just telling you, I just want to be factual. CBS News is telling us that we do not know for a fact that Pakistan gave us permission to go in there and do this.
In a weird way, I hope they didn't.
I hope they didn't either.
You know what I mean?
That makes our president look that much more in charge and forceful.
No, 100% right.
I'm all for.
Here's Patrick and Pelham on the Fan. Good morning, Patrick. What's going on today, buddy?
Hey, guys. It's a great day for America and the world. This mission has finally been accomplished, but I want to know, is it really true that Donald Trump is demanding to see Bin Laden?
Stop. I mean, you waited 45 minutes to tell the worst internet joke in the world.
And I'm just also going to tell you that, while the mission to get Bin Laden is accomplished, the overall mission is not accomplished. You'll be fighting terrorism and Al-Qaeda and people like this for years and years and years and years to come.
Well, here's the problem. You got the face of it, but there's 30 other of those guys laying in wait that they want to kill us too.
That's right.
And you and I don't know those guys' names. Of course, our military does, but I don't know those guys' names, right? There's a guy right now in a warehouse somewhere in Jersey with 5 other guys right now planning our demise. That's the reality. And none of their last names are Laden or Bin Laden. There are people that mean us harm. We got the biggest one. Now we start getting all the other ones.
The main mission to kill Osama bin Laden is accomplished, but the overall mission to weed out every single terrorist across the globe is not.
Right.
And will never be.
Notice I didn't use any specific Jersey town.
Right.
Because,
you don't want to
offend Al's neighbors or anything like that. Here's Tommy out of Penn State on the Fan. Tommy, good morning. How are you?
Good. How are you guys this morning?
All right, Tommy, what's happening?
Well, I'm a Central New Jersey kid initially, and I play into that generation you guys keep talking about. I was 12 years old in the 7th grade when 9/11 happened, and I remember me and all my buddies getting called out of school and whatnot. And my generation doesn't necessarily feel as strongly about maybe like the Russians or the Germans and some other generations.
Right.
So now I'm 22 at Penn State, and this number one guy that the biggest threat to America kind of seemed unattainable for a while. And, this last night was the Sunday before finals week. Finals start tonight. And when the news broke, we all kind of stormed to the downtown area we nicknamed Beaver Canyon. And, it's kind of just like a mini pep rally for America, so to speak.
Nice.
That's cool.
Flags, chants, and, that Mets and Phillies demographic you keep talking about, students who usually don't stand side by side and kind of fight each other. We were, all standing in unity last night chanting.
Yeah, it's a special moment. And sadly, those moments don't last forever, but it's a special moment to hear that 22-year-old kids are, in the quad getting together.
That's great.
That's cool. Because remember,
really
a lot of those kids, these local kids, boom. And I don't know if your kids went through it. Remember they had schools locked down? You couldn't get your kids out of school till very late in the day?
We got our kids out of school, believe me.
But you remember they did all that stuff,
Sure.
And you were stranded in Denver that day, trying to get back from the Bronco Giants.
2.5 days.
Is that how long it took for you to finally get a plane back?
Yeah.
2.5 days you couldn't get back.
That's right.
Here's Ronnie in Long Island on the Fan. Ronnie, good morning. How you doing, sport?
Hey, good morning, guys. I'm a little nervous right now. I'm a little shook up about this whole thing. I listened to you guys for the last 4 months. I recently retired from UPS, and you guys do a great job. This is the first time I've ever called, and I thought a day like today would be the most appropriate day to call, and I'm really surprised that I got through.
All right, well, just take a big, deep breath. Just calm down. We're okay. Don't
I
be
was
rushed.
about a block away. My route on UPS was on Church Street and West Broadway, and I was a block away on 9/11. And, I got memories etched in my mind that I'll never leave. I got home. I had to walk over the 59th Street Bridge, walk to my parents' house. and we made it out of there. I mean, we all went back after the first plane hit. I waited around a little while. Then the second plane hit, and I didn't know it was a terrorist attack, and I was so emotionally distraught over seeing people fall from the building. I mean, it was, I still have those memories etched in my head. And I just called my supervisors and I said, listen, man, I'm getting the hell out of here. I saw things that I'm really shook up about. So I drove my truck in. We got all the rest of the guys back. Thank God we didn't have anybody hurt. I mean, it was early in the morning, so most of our trucks didn't even leave the plant yet. But it was an emotional day. I mean, I got home. I just sat there and I looked at the TV and I was in shock for a couple of days. We finally got back into the city a few days later. Ground Zero finally shrunk down. It started out where it was like a couple of miles. They wouldn't let us in, but because we were UPS drivers, eventually they let us get closer and closer. And you get to form friendships with the fire department down there and the cops and all. And one of the cops even took me into the actual Ground Zero site. And just to walk in there and look up at this mound of rubble, it was like unbelievable. I mean, my jaw just dropped. I mean, we all saw pictures on TV, and just to go down there and smell the burning for days and weeks, and just to see it like within feet, it was unbelievable.
So, Ronnie,
Last
for you,
night,
a day like today is bittersweet in the sense that you feel that we've finally extracted the revenge that we all felt like we deserved, but also it opens all those wounds that unfortunately you have to go through.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, the only sad part is that it took us 10 years to get this rat bastard. I mean, but you know what? We got him, and that's the main thing. It's really not closure because of it was such an emotional day. I was lucky enough not to have lost anybody on that day, but it was a very traumatic experience to. When you're a block away and you hear an explosion like that, then you don't know what it is, and then you see flames, and then you see people. It was just unbelievable. But it's a great day for the United States. It's a great day for the world. I mean, it's just everybody should be rejoicing today. I mean, we did. I mean, I'm not a big fan of Obama, but you know what? It's not like Craig said before. This isn't political. He got him, and that's all that matters. I mean, whoever got him. I mean, we got him, and it's a proud day to be an American.
Ronnie, great call. Thank you for the time, kiddo.
All right, thanks, man.
Great job, call anytime.
877-337-6666. Boomer and Carton. That's a toll-free line, courtesy of Mohegan Sun. Your calls all the way to 10 o'clock. We'll get you an update from Jerry Rello on all the happenings last night and going into the week. And, of course, more calls like that. Anything you got today, please bring it and vent and let your voice be heard. Now, Mother's Day is Sunday. Now, your mom's done a lot for you. Time you do something for her. 1 dozen assorted roses for your mom plus a free glass vase. Only $19.99 plus tax and shipping. That's roses plus...
You're ready for the summertime, NY after the winter we just had. I know you are, so am I. Summertime, NYC, come on 212. You know how we do. Pools, barbecue, kids out of school. Flip-flop, hip-hop, party on the rooftop. Yeah, all of that. Everybody say summer. Come on, Brooklyn, say summer. U2, Long Island, Connecticut, Jersey, yeah, that's it. MSG Summer Block Party. New shows, big concerts, great movies, Red Bulls, and more. Begins this June.
Maybe you want to replant a forest. Maybe you want to rebuild homes for those in need. Or maybe you want to help improve our schools. Whatever you want to do, Members Project from American Express can help you take the first step. Vote, volunteer, or donate for the causes you believe in at membersproject.com. Take charge of making a difference.
A young man with ambition met an old man at the top. Asked him if he had a secret, and the old man stopped and thought and said, free cause that's how it ought to be, my brother. Credit cause you need a loan for one thing or another. Score cause they break it down to one simple number that you can use. Time to take a break cause the name is kinda long. Come in honor of the internet that it's on. Put it all together at the end of the song. It gives you freecreditscore.com.
Offer applies with enrollment in freecreditscore.com.
Felt like the smartest car.
When Ford swaps your ride, you tend to talk about it. Mallory, you were driving a what?
Honda Accord.
And now you're in a?
Ford Fusion. My gas mileage was awesome because I'm always in the car and I'm driving everywhere.
Mallory, bit of a hugger.
I really like finding things along my route. Find shoe stores.
Destination shoe store.
You guys must be fun to ride around with.
Now, current competitive lessees can get a 2011 Fusion for $159 a month for 24 months. Just $159.
We're going shoe shopping today.
I'm a satellite dish. The only reason you got me was for basketball. But for today's game, I'm a little fuzzy. So you tried to fix me. But you just made me loose. Newsflash. If you have cut rate insurance, you might not be covered for this. So get Allstate and protect your house and car from mayhem like me.
Dollar for dollar, nobody protects you from mayhem like Allstate.
This hour of Boomer and Carton is brought to you by WeatherTech. For complete protection of your vehicle's interior, shop WeatherTech.com.
When you have the 2011 International Car of the Year, the Hyundai Sonata, getting a best-in-class 35 miles per gallon with best-in-class horsepower, starting at less than $20,000, you don't need to have an event. It's more than an event. It's a movement. Hyundai.
Join the movement today with a surprising $199 lease or 0.9% APR on the 2011 Sonata, but only at your local Hyundai dealer.
In Albuquerque, Citi pre-approved my mortgage.
All right, Labs, guys, let's go.
In Sioux Falls, I locked in a rate.
Coach, you get that house yet? Working on it.
The appraisal? Springfield. Wherever I was, my Citi mortgage consultant had me covered. And 500 miles from home, we finally had a new home.
From pre-approval to closing, Citi is with you every step of the way. What's your story? Citi can help you write it.
The sounds of spring. It's a symphony best appreciated at full blast. The moment you've been waiting for has arrived. Spring's best event from Cadillac. But like the beauty of spring, it won't last long. Visit your Tri-State Cadillac dealer or CadillacTristate.com for this exceptional offer.
Completing an ATM deposit in record time. That's a step forward. With deposit-friendly ATMs, you can make ultra-fast, secure deposits with no slips or omissions.
Shoulder. Nothing to see anymore in the LIE. Those two guys slugging it out at Bagatelle Road. They've licked their wounds. They're on their way home with police reports, I'm sure. And checking out the crossings. 30 minutes at the Lincoln, 30 at the Holland, 5 to 10 at the George. The WFAN forecast for today. Some clouds, maybe a break or two of sun. Look for a shower late today. 67 degrees. A little dyslexic there. 52 right now. Have yourselves a great day. I'm Tracy Burgess, the RNL Carrier Span Highway Patrol.
You're listening to Boomer Esiason and Craig Carton.
A little Kate Smith, not my favorite rendition, but the most famous. especially in Philly.
Yes.
They live by this chick for Flyers games, right?
Well, that's okay. I mean, today we can all just
get along.
Get along, right?
That's right. One day we put all our differences aside and we get along. Say it, Boomer. We love Philadelphia and Boston.
I was I was very happy that the Bruins beat the Flyers over the weekend.
Yes, 7-3 or something like that, right? They beat them down
in their own building.
That's right.
Yes.
Listen, it's Boomer and Carton. We're broadcasting live from the 19th annual Boomer Esiason Foundation Golf Tournament on Long Island. And of course, today's show takes on a whole different meaning and significance with the news last night. That again was a broadcast during the Met game. Before I get to Jerry Rello, I want to play live again. It happened right here on the Fan. The great job by Harry Rose. He was with Wayne Hagan, of course, but Harry was doing play-by-play at the time. You'll hear this audio start off. It's the raw audio of the broadcast, unedited.
What you got to think about for a second, what Howie's doing here. He's doing a baseball game. He's trying to explain to his listeners what's going on in the stands. He's not sure if it's confirmed.
Right.
And he's still trying to do a baseball game. It's an amazing job.
What happened was the fans started chanting USA, USA, and that's where we pick up the live broadcast from last night.
Now the pitch, and it's line foul into the seats down the third base line. 1 ball, 1 strike. And I'll tell you what's going on. The crowd is chanting USA. And the reason for that is that there are reports circulating. I am not sure if they've yet been confirmed by the White House that Osama Bin Laden is dead. How that's happened, we don't know. But this crowd now knows it. The 1-1, a fastball on the outside corner for a called strike 2. 1 ball and 2 strikes. This is becoming an almost surreal evening when you consider, well, simply from the baseball perspective, a very intriguing game, and now a globally huge story beginning to break, and the crowd here at the ballpark getting wind of it. Of course, in this day, with the blackberries and everything else, it doesn't take news very long to travel at all. Here's the 1-2 to Murphy. Change up low, 2 balls and 2 strikes. If we get you any further details, we'll let you know.
Well, there you go. Just a great job by Harry last night. An amazing sports moment where Met fans and Phillies fans together all chanting USA. My 8-year-old son was at the game. That's how I found out. He called me last night and said, Daddy, they're chanting USA. They got Bin Laden. And he's 8. He wasn't around for it.
Right,
so
right.
He only knows it from what me and my wife have taught him.
And I told you what I got from Gunnar last night. He sent 1-word text to me, and that was victory.
Victory.
That's all he said. And, you know, we took him out of school at the age of 10.
Right.
And he basically grew up knowing that nothing other than that we've been in this war against al-Qaeda terrorism since he's, as long as he can remember.
And then we have a member of our staff who had to be in, middle school, maybe junior high school? Just real quick, Mike up Dominique, because I decided, it was just dawned on me that she was a kid when this happened.
Dom, come over here. Sit over here.
You can sit next to Uncle Boomer if you want.
Yeah, right here.
Maybe you and I should change seats too,
no,
Boomer.
That's
No, I'm just saying so she feels more comfortable.
Right.
You were, 14 when it happened?
Yes, I was a freshman in high school. And actually, I was in California. So we had to fly back and everything. It was, so incredible.
So you were not in school when it happened?
No, I wasn't in school. I actually got woken up by my parents, and I was watching it on TV, and I felt like I was living through a movie. It was so
There you
incredible.
go. All right, so there's Dominique. It's 14 years old, right?
So what was high school? I mean, high school was always there then, right? The whole thing had to be around all of you and all your friends, and every day that would go by, you'd be thinking, oh, we're at war. We're a country at war now.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, there's Dominique. Very good. Thank you, Dom. Good seeing you today. Here's Jerry Rello. Jerry, what do you got?
Brought to you by Metro PCS. Wireless for all. We'll go to the reaction inside the clubhouse last night. The Mets won that game 2-1. Chris Young started, pitched well. He says, so what, though?
There's some things in life bigger than the game.
Now, Pedro Beato says it may have taken 10 years, but...
Finally, we got him.
Meaning Bin Laden. Mets manager Terry Collins says, tremendous night.
This is a good win for us and obviously a huge win for America tonight.
And here's reaction from David Wright.
You're kind of coming together for, kind of a common cause. And like I said, it put a smile on my face before I even knew what was going on.
And that's from the fans chanting USA, USA
They
in
did. The
Philadelphia.
fans did. I mean, the fans, that's awesome because That's an unscripted, organic moment that doesn't happen every day of the week, so it's pretty cool.
On the night, Wright had 3 hits and scored both runs. Ronnie Paulino snapping the 1-1 tie in the 14th with an RBI double. Mets off tonight. The Yankees, though, in Detroit. Sunday, New York beat Toronto 5-2. Curtis Granderson, a 3-run homer. Ivan Nova, the win. Bartolo Colon gets the start this evening. Major League Baseball did suspend Roger McDowell 2 weeks without pay for his comments towards the fans in San Francisco last week.
And I
So
wonder if
they did take
MLB
action.
tonight, now the Mets don't play tonight, the Yankees are in Detroit. You're in a weird spot where you don't want to overdo it, right? Not that you could in this regard, but I wonder if they'll do anything before first pitch of every game tonight for Major League Baseball. You have the NBA playoffs tonight. You just wonder. The national anthem in every sporting event tonight takes on more significance for sure, but you wonder if the PA announcers or the teams of the leagues will do something a little bit extra tonight.
I would think that your God Bless America, right? I mean, in the 7th inning or whatever they do, that I think that might take precedent tonight as well in all stadiums, not just the stadiums that are used to doing
Some have gone back to take me out of the ballgame, haven't they?
Right, yes.
I think
maybe
some have,
tonight
but
you go back to it for one
I
night.
still think the majority of teams do.
I'm sure that there'll be something. It's just too patriotic of a time not to, in some way, shape, or form, observe it. You have to observe
I
the
think
moment.
you got to do it before the first pitch. You have to acknowledge it. I mean, there'll be servicemen and women at every game in the country tonight.
Well, that's the other thing.
I think you acknowledge them.
Well, maybe that's what you do. You have them come out and throw the first pitch.
Yeah, and I don't know. And I should also mention, and I'm not naming names or anything, but there's a number of people like that working this golf tournament today, and we should all acknowledge them too.
Right.
Wherever else you go, NYPD, FDNY, all that stuff. So I would think that every stadium in America tonight, whether it's NHL playoffs, NBA playoffs, or Major League Baseball, should and will do something. Without it becoming, cheesy, before first pitch, puck drop, tip off, that kind of thing. I hope they do.
NBA's Eastern Conference semifinals, Heat over the Celtics, 99-90. In the West, the Grizzlies beat the Thunder, 114-101. Both were game ones. Tonight, Atlanta plays Chicago. The Mavericks face the Lakers. NHL, the Lightning defeat the Capitals in overtime, 3-2. Game winner from Vinny LeCavalier. Sharks over the Red Wings, 2-1. Tampa and San Jose up 2-0. Tonight, the Bruins face off with the Flyers. And now time for Moment of the Day.
Moment of... Where are you?
Hello.
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 See, if I'm by myself, we'll just call the show the Craig Carton Show.
1, 2, 3. Moment.
Moment of the day.
And one wonders what it would be like if John Sterling and Susan Waldman had been on the search for Bin Laden.
Can you imagine if John and Susan had to break the news? John, goodness gracious, we've got Osama Bin Laden.
Oh, Susan, what they signed him? Is he going to be batting for Jorge Posada as a DH? He's batting 190, by the way.
All right.
Not even his one for his last 27.
No, John, Osama Bin Laden. We got him. He's dead.
Well, Yankees
He was hiding in George Steinbrenner's box.
I guess that's moment of the day. There you go.
I mean, I would agree with that as the moment of the day.
Yeah, okay.
Goodness gracious.
Oh, boy.
We going to put any money on today's golf tournament? Or
If you'd like to, brother, anything you want. After watching you play golf last week, I'll put any amount of money on it. I don't care.
I'll take a
You want to
stroke
put your
hole.
house on it?
I'll
You
take
wanna
a
put
stroke
whatever?
hole.
You can have a stroke hole.
You're going to give me 18 strokes?
Yeah, but the problem is that you don't know the rules of golf.
Yeah, I do.
You put your marker in front of the ball on the green.
That's a cockamamie rule
You're going to hit
anyway.
the ball.
Disqualification.
He's going to hit the ball in the woods. It's sad and find it, but I know it went in here, drop a ball, and not take the
No,
ball.
there's an official score with every foursome, so I can't cheat.
I got 3 with you.
That's fine.
I got 3
You give
scores
me
going around
18
you.
strokes.
Right.
All right?
Yeah.
Dinner at our favorite steakhouse.
Don't give him 18 strokes.
Wait. Dinner at
our favorite steakhouse.
Our favorite steakhouse.
That's right. You and I now have a mutually agreed upon favorite steakhouse.
It does not sound right.
You and I, as partners,
Why don't you just say,
have a favorite steakhouse.
Why don't you just say, I'll take you to your favorite steakhouse.
Okay, I will take you and treat you to our favorite steakhouse. Deal? Or vice versa?
We don't have the same favorite steakhouse.
Fine. Wherever yours is, I will take you to and treat you. If I win, wherever mine is, you'll take me and treat me.
All right.
But
You're on.
one caveat to that.
What's that?
Only me and you. We go alone. Me and you and me. We enjoy a man dinner, 2 men shooting the bull, hanging out, bonding, getting to know each other a little bit better. The 2 of us, a table for 2.
Did you just notice how everybody in here got really quiet
Now,
and they're really paying attention to this conversation?
If you want to get a 4-top and order a lot, that's fine too. But no other people are welcome to join us at our table because it's our table in the corner, my back to the wall so I can see everybody, and that's how we roll.
So you want 18 strokes?
18 strokes.
You can have them, really, honestly.
Pinky swear.
No, I'll
like
shake,
a man.
I'll shake
like
your
a man,
hand.
pinky swear.
I'll shake your hand.
All right, I'll shake your hand.
All right, there.
Because your friends are here. And I don't want to embarrass you in front of your friends.
Right, thank you.
When you guys aren't here, he pinky swears.
877-337-6666. Here's Bobby in Binghamton on the Fan. Good morning, Bobby. How are you today, buddy?
Good morning. How are you?
Great, Bobby. What's happening?
Well, I wanted to make a comment about some things I haven't heard this morning, and that is how the armed forces could pull something off like this. I don't believe that it really was a spur-of-the-moment thing where we just found him and said, go get him when he's there. I think that the story comes out, you'll find this was very well planned and very well rehearsed and very well executed, as evidenced by the fact there were absolutely no U.S. losses.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. None of it, I don't want to be clear, neither Boomer nor I are saying that they woke up yesterday and said, oh, he's there, go get him. My best guess from the CBS News coverage that Boomer and I have followed is that they've been tracking him. They had every stone unturned. They got a sense of what his daily routine was like in this place. They planned it out. They knew which guys they were sending in. They knew how they were sending them in.
And it all came from Gitmo, from information they got at Gitmo. And the other thing, too, is
you're right, Bobby.
But I'm also wondering, Bobby, like, you would think that it's Osama Bin Laden. So you got to believe that maybe there's 30 guys around him with guns and everything.
But
doesn't sound like it.
It's one of those old things, hiding in plain sight kind of deals, I guess. But, Bobby, we're with you, kiddo. Thank you. And it's a credit to the military for planning it and carrying it out. And politics aside, a credit to our president.
Listen, I will support our president in this vein 100 times over, no matter who the president is, no matter what his politics are. And even more so if we find out later on that Pakistan did not give us permission to do this, that he said, hey, you know where he is? Go get him.
I hope that's the case, by the way.
Well, either way.
Makes our president more of a presidential figure. Yeah, I like
tough decision.
I like strong. That's kind of strong-willed. Hey, listen, you're not going to help us? We'll do it ourselves.
I'm glad you like strong-willed people.
It's the kind of man I'm attracted to. A strong-willed man who doesn't care about everyone around him. He does what he thinks is right. And sometimes you're wrong, but you go with your own convictions.
No wonder
because I'm a lot like that.
That's kind of how you look up to me, then.
Only because you're taller.
No, I think you definitely look up to me.
Well, because you're taller than me.
Well, I'm a little bit older.
And older.
Right.
You're in a weird way like a big brother. Much older big brother, but
a much big. Anytime you have problems, who's office you coming? Right, exactly.
Here's Alan Winfield on the Fan. Al, good morning. How you doing, sport?
Good morning, guys. See you today. Just want to express my thoughts and prayers to everyone who lost loved ones on September 11th and all that died since fighting the terrorists. And today isn't a great day to be an American. Every day is a great day to be American, guys, and have a great one.
Thank you. I appreciate that. We agree. Chris is in Valley Stream on the Fan. Chris, good morning. How are you today? Chris is gone. Let's go to Chris in Connecticut then. Chris, good morning. How are you?
Hey, guys. How are you today?
All right, Chris, what's happening?
Good. I was getting off shift. I'm a police officer in Connecticut last night when I heard the news. I lost my brother 9/11. He worked for Keith Barrett. It was, a terrible day. I remember that day like it was yesterday. The Mets are, not doing great this year, but I tell you what, they're a fantastic organization. I called them up to get a banner signed by all the guys, and they did better than that. They invited my daughter, my father, my brother's fiance down, and they took care of us the entire day. They stood a detective next to me the entire day. That's the same day they started bombing Afghanistan looking for this guy. And last night while I'm on patrol, I'm listening to the game, and I heard this news, and I tell you what a great feeling for me, my family, just everybody, all these families. I mean, it's a fantastic day.
Well, Chris, we agree 100%. We hear the emotion, and we're with you throughout the day. Thank you for the call, buddy. Appreciate it. All right, listen, 877-337-6666. Toll-free number made possible by Mohegan Sun. We'll give you another shot or two to get in, as you recall 10 years ago, and your raw emotions when you found out last night or early this morning that Osama Bin Laden was dead. Pine Belt Chevrolet of Lakewood's the Chevy Giant. Why?
Throughout the playoffs, it's Hockey Night Live.
most important time of the year.
Hockey is at the forefront.
The intensity builds up.
That's a great hit. We're trying to watch 6 games at once. We're all hockey junkies.
We've been there. We've seen it. We kind of sense and feel.
He should be prepared to show that one twice. He's going to need some time.
Sometimes we'll agree. Sometimes we'll disagree.
I'm being serious.
It's not that big of a deal. And laughing is encouraged. Essentially, there are no rules here. It's a story of great expectation, and we're going to follow it every step of the way.
This is Hockey Night Live.
Hey, have you been to my website lately? You should really check it out. Go to JetersFordChallenge.com and find out why Ford's lineup is really turning people's heads. Enter to win some great prizes. You can even watch my latest Ford commercials, outtakes, and behind-the-scenes videos. And of course, you'll always find great deals like these from your Tri-State Ford dealers.
Get a 2011 Edge with Sync and My Ford Touch for $259 a month.
Get online today at JetersFordChallenge.com, then get to your Tri-State Ford dealer.
This guy I knew decided to go shopping for a house that had an ocean view. But at the bank, his credit stank. So now the house he bought looks out onto a sewage tank. FreeCreditScore.com is for people who need to get a house or car, or just get a grip on all of it. Cause life with bad credit's like sailing on a sinking ship.
Offer applies with enrollment in FreeCreditScore.com.
Maybe you want school kids to have more exposure to the arts. Maybe you want to provide meals for the needy. Or maybe you want to help when the unexpected happens. Whatever you want to do, Members Project from American Express can help you take the first step. Vote, volunteer, or donate for the causes you believe in at membersproject.com. Take charge of making a difference.
Some people think Allstate only protects your car. Here's the truth. Allstate can also protect your home or apartment, as well as your boat, motorcycle, RV, and snowmobile, and even your retirement and your life. Not many insurance companies can say that, but Allstate can. Now that you know the truth, know this. The more of your world you put in good hands, the more you can save. Dollar for dollar, nobody protects you like Allstate.
When you have the 2011 International Car of the Year, the Hyundai Sonata, getting a best-in-class 35 miles per gallon with best-in-class horsepower.
Very nice moment.
Lower the music a little bit. Boomer had a nice moment.
I did have a nice moment. You know, this goes back to my hockey pedigree that I have. Just met Brad Richards. You know,
who's this Brad Richards you speak
center
of?
from the Dallas Stars. We want him for the Rangers next year. He and Tortorella are tight. He won't talk about it, though.
I don't think he can handle
He's so
New York,
tight-lipped.
to be honest with you. He's soft.
He can handle. He's not soft.
He's one of these. He's like a suburban country club kid.
No, I don't think so.
No, for real.
No,
Good
he's
guy.
not.
He's not a bad guy. He's a good guy.
You know, I got a Wasp game tonight. I tried to get him to play with us tonight.
Listen, he's not playing a team called the Wasps.
Yes, he won't. Why would he?
right now. Because he's a suburban country club kid.
Well, you would think that a Wasp.
He's better for the Islanders, I think.
You think so?
Yeah, I think so.
No,
Play the
he's not
Coliseum.
doing that. No, I think.
No, he's a good guy, huh?
He's a great guy. You know, I don't have.
Is he available
celebrities-
free agency?
Yes, he will be.
Let's
yes.
go get him.
Well, we're going to try.
What the hell's going on around here?
Because we have some other money issues that we have to deal with first.
Get rid of Gabrick and go get Richards.
No, we want
Gabrick's a waste of money anyway.
No, you want Gabrick and Richards playing together.
Why are we talking hockey today?
Why not?
Huh?
Because I got a big game tonight.
Is Richards young enough to have not seen you play football? I hope so. Oh, I'll find him on the golf course. He and I'll have a moment. Who says, "Oh man, Esaias"? No.
No, he's fine.
No, I know he's fine.
He's his early 30s.
American?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh, even better, dude.
Right, exactly.
Can't trust those Canadians.
So
anyway.
you want Americans?
I want a team of just Americans.
Well,
that's my dream.
How about
and that hop-on waitress to
All right, but how about just North Americans? Well, we'll just call them North. We'll get some Canadians.
You give me
gotta
some
have
South
Canadians.
Americans too. Don't
Gotta
matter
get
to me.
some guys
Just
from
Americans.
Saskatchewan.
Here's Greg and Riverhead on the fan as we obviously acknowledge the news from last night that Bin Laden is dead, and we do it live from Boomer's 19th annual golf tournament to fight and hopefully one day eradicate the world of cystic fibrosis. That's the goal, of course. I think it'll be a wonderful event as always is. Greg's in Riverhead though. Greg, good morning. How are you?
Hey guys, how you doing? Great job today.
Thank you, Greggy. What's going on?
Hey, I just want to say my uncle Glenn Wall died on September 11th. I know him and his buddies, Matty O, Farrell, they're all looking down today, smiling. Today was a day long overdue, but it's a good day. And thanks for everything, guys. You're doing a great job, and I'll talk to you soon, all right?
Thank you,
Okay,
Greg.
Greggy,
Appreciate
thanks for the
that.
call.
Melinda's in Long Island on the fan. I guess a very different type of show for me and Boomer, but one that has to happen. Melinda, how are you today, babe?
I'm good. How are you guys?
All right.
Okay, Melinda, what's happening, dear?
Well, I had a thought. As weekends go, it's going to be hard to top this one, because think about it. We start out with a royal wedding on Friday, beauty, pomp, circumstance. There's happiness in the world. Come Sunday night, Bin Laden's dead, and the world's a better place to live in, and the Mets and the Yankees win in between.
I never thought of it that way. Who knew that we'd start
Right?
the royal wedding?
Well, the royal wedding was important. It's good
I
news.
guess so.
So, did you like the dress?
I liked Pippa.
You did.
I'll tell you that.
Seems like she got a lot of coverage.
The younger sister, yeah, because she's the younger sister.
Oh, okay.
You understand?
You would figure that, what was it, Wills, or what's the other guy's name? What's the
I
other
know, but
prince's
you know
name?
what he was doing.
You know what he was thinking about.
It's keeping it the family, sister. You know what I'm saying? Here's Caddy X from last year's tournament on the phone. Caddy X, who's a rat. How you doing today, buddy?
I am doing fine, Craig. And Boom, I just want to say great job again for everything you're doing. And I want to raise some money for your charities today.
All right.
I'd love to place a little wager on today's match. Craig, there's no way you're shooting 86 on that golf course. I was out there yesterday. It's playing fast.
I don't have to shoot an 86. If Boomer shoots an 81, I got to shoot an 88, a 98 to beat him, and I will shoot better than that.
Well, last year you were chirping about how you shot 86 with no problem, and I figured, with even the way you cheat and everything, that there was no way.
First off, I think I shot 86 last year with my foot wedge, my elbow wedge,
Right,
two balls in the pocket.
Because Caddy X knows. Caddy X
He's a
knows
rat.
that you don't know the rules of the game.
He's a no good rat. But Caddy X, I'll take your $100 like everyone else that wants to back Team Boomer on this one today. Boomer's giving me 18 strokes.
I want to wager more than I want to wager some money. So whatever I make, I was going to donate to Boomer's charity.
Well, I'll put you on hold. We'll try to deal with it off the air. But I do appreciate you calling in, and hopefully we'll see you out here today. I want to end the show the appropriate way today, and that's the way we started it, with the acknowledgement of what happened last night and the fact that regardless of who you root for, what's going on in the sports world, that we all as New Yorkers and Americans got just a great dose of news last night, unexpected, out of left field, that brought us all together. Yes, it brought back some very bad memories of September 11th, 10 years ago. But at the same time, it's really, if you think about it, it's the first legitimate piece of awesome news. I'll even go back to Saddam Hussein, taking him out is irrelevant compared to getting Bin Laden.
That's right. I agree with you 100%.
So it's a very special day for all of us, and we should end the show the appropriate way. So I do appreciate having fun. It's what we do every day, but we got to do the right thing, and that's end the show the right way. Mike's in Queens on the fan. Good morning, Michael. What's up, baby? Hello, Mike.
Hey, guys. How you doing? You hear me?
Doing good.
Yeah, go ahead, Mike. We got you. What you got, buddy?
I was just curious. I haven't heard you guys mention it at all. Are you guys aware that he was buried at sea?
Yes, it's apparently Islamic law. Now, I'm not sure why we had to live up to that, but I imagine because of where they got him, they did. But and Boomer made a good point. Maybe also they don't have a burial site for martyrs. But he's apparently out to sea, and that's it. Goodbye.
Well, the other thing is what country would take him. That's the other thing you got to think about in this situation.
Thank you, Mike. Appreciate it. I know what he's getting at. Now it's going to be the dopey. Oh, how do you prove to us you got him? Listen, the president of this country doesn't come out the way he did last night and announce that we got Bin Laden unless they got Bin Laden.
That's right.
It's been 10 years. There's no benefit to coming out there and lying about it. And I'm down with conspiracy theories. I am. But now this is, they
got him.
Maybe I'm naive.
They got
I
him.
think he's dead.
All right.
And I'm happy he's dead. And where's the shut up? It's dead. Here's Joe in Oceanside on the fan. Joe, good morning. How are you?
How you doing, guys?
All right, Joe.
2 months prior to September 11th, me and my daughter were visiting colleges. And we went to the University of Maryland because they had a new dance program. And they said that they will be speaking about the dance program in New York. Would you like to attend? And we said yes. And we get an invitation in August saying, please attend our program. It will be held in the World Trade Center on September 11th at 12 o'clock.
Oh.
And me and my daughter, we're going to go there early in the morning to have breakfast early in the morning there because my daughter never was at the World Trade Center, and my daughter overslept, and my wife said, let us sleep, we'll go there a little bit later. And sure enough, I see this unfolding on TV. So, I have the invitation in my house, and I'll never forget that. So it kind of just shows you how life is strange and being in the right place at the wrong place at the wrong time. And just very glad to see closure on this, and wish it would have happened sooner, but I'm glad it did happen.
Yeah, and there's so many stories like that. I just bumped into one of Boomer's longtime employees who, none of your employees were in the building that day, but one was pretty damn close and was just whatever. I forget why she was late, but she was a little late that day.
That's right.
And is alive today because of it.
Yeah, and it took her quite a bit of time to get her feet back on the ground. You know, the one thing I will say about President Obama this morning, his approval rating will go through the roof.
As it should.
Because most Americans understand that the decision that he made was not an easy one, and he made it, and he called it, and they executed it absolutely perfectly. And today, I think the world is a much better place.
Listen, we're going to end the show the way we opened it, so stay tuned for that in a few seconds. A lot of people to thank for today's program. First, without saying names, the Country Club out here around for allowing us to do this show live every year and also bring a TV crew in here. We appreciate the membership for letting us do that, and the people that run the club. Obviously, everyone at MSG who got out here real early this morning and throughout the last couple weeks to make sure we could do it, and keeping us on the air and making me look pretty, which is not that easy to do. Our engineers at The Fan, Eddie Scazzeri and Bobby and the entire gang, Max and everyone back at the studio for doing a great job today. Everyone here that helped out, from Big Steve to Dominique. Jerry was all right today. And to Boomer Esiason, who is now hosting his 19th annual Boomer Esiason Foundation Golf Tournament to fight cystic fibrosis. And this year, knock on wood, will be the most successful of all 19. And it's a privilege to be a part of it. And as a member